My man, that's so cool to hear. Yeah, this is awesome. We're gonna crush it. Let's knock it out of the park.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, letting people in now.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
Welcome everyone.
It's showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Gonna be awesome. You guys ready for this?
Ready.
Yeah.
Once I finish
This is
eating
awesome.
my banana.
I was born ready. So.
Robin was born ready, just crushing it. High performance coach from the time he was born. That's so cool. Yeah, got a lot of people on today. This is awesome.
Okay.
So we got 24 so far.
Well, I decided to come. What's up, man? What's up, Rob?
Man, Brad, how's it going, man?
Hey,
What's
Brad.
going on? I said,
Good to
screw
see
it.
you,
I'm
brother.
like, I gotta come to this. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of multitasking, but I'm here.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother.
Best choice you taken this year, probably.
Oh yeah, no, Rob, I'm looking forward for this. As you know, for a while now, man.
Yeah.
I was like, Robin, let's do this, dude. You gotta do it. You gotta do it live. You gotta do it live. And then, so I'm happy you're doing this, man.
Yeah.
Looking good too. Looking fresh.
Thank you. Born this way.
Born fresh.
You got the good
high-performance
genes,
coach.
dude. You got the good genes.
Those
Yeah.
Viking genes, Viking
I got
blood.
the genes, dude.
Finnish Viking genes.
Yep.
I haven't watched any of those in a while. Those what was it
Alex, I saw you you asked if it's possible to record this meeting. Yeah, the meeting is being recorded as well, so you guys will get access to that as well.
Are we gonna give the guys a few minutes to join?
Yeah, let's give 2-3 more minutes just for anybody else that wants to join, and then we'll dive into it. But yeah, we got a lot of good people here and don't want to keep you guys waiting. So yeah, it's got a lot of people joining still. Colby, man, how's it going?
Hello. Hey, what's up?
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Man, I know we haven't had a chance to I think connect in person, but it's good to see you on the call.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
I've seen you around like a bunch. We've been in each other's like circles, but yeah, it's good to see you live.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone's like, I recognize your hair. And I'm like, yeah. It's like my USP.
Yeah, that's a good USP. Yeah, I think even
Yeah.
Bilal, Bilal, he did a post on his like Facebook, and he mentioned he had a call with you, and he mentioned your epic hair. So
Yeah, no, he's a really great guy, actually. I really enjoyed chatting with him. Lots of energy.
yeah, he's a great guy for sure. I think he'll be joining as well, but I think he's a bit late, so all good. But yeah, we got a lot of people. 30, 31 so far, and we're about to dive into it.
Almost as big as my family.
This is your high performance family, high performance copywriter family, Robin.
Yeah.
I mean, in addition to your high performance Finnish family, that's got the Viking genes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give a few more seconds, and then we'll dive into it at 10:05. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. We got a lot of people here, and if anybody else wants to join, they can they can join us as well later. But yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we're ready to dive into it. So again, I want to say, thank you all for coming. Huge welcome, and super excited to dive into this training that we've prepared for you guys today. There's going to be a lot of value, lots of gold nuggets we're going to share here with the man himself, performance coach Robin Westerlund. And yeah, super excited to share this with you guys. So let's dive into it. Robin, so just so everybody doesn't, it's like for anybody that doesn't know Robin, the man himself, because I know a lot of you guys are from my list and maybe haven't heard of him before, but Robin here is the award-winning performance coach from Finland here. And you worked with over 150 clients to optimize their sleep, their performance, their mindset, their habits, and just all around crush it in life. He has like crazy testimonials, some of the best testimonials I've seen from clients that are just like, crying with joy with the transformations you've helped them achieve. So you're really, really good at that. And yeah, anything you want to speak to that on, Robin?
I'm just a blessed man. I found my passion. I searched for it for 25 long years, basically, and I found it. And yeah, checks out. I'm pretty damn good at what I do. It might help that I love to compete. So like when someone signs up with me, it's my job to make them win, and I love winning. So yeah, I love help other people win. That's it, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And man, you've won sales competitions where you were like the top 0.1% in first place as like the actual sales champion of the competition. What was that one? You want to talk about the sales competition you recently won where you got that all expenses paid vacation to Thailand and everything?
Yeah, no, I participated in a sales competition in May. Even though I don't work in sales per se, like I run my own business, so I do sales for my own business. But I participated in a competition because I love to compete, and it was 850 participants, and yeah, I won the prize. It was a trip to full expenses paid trip to Thailand, one-on-one coaching from a sales consult that has worked for Coca-Cola, among other big companies. Rolls-Royce, I think, I hired him and things like that. So I'm about to achieve that coaching as well. Like I haven't gotten coached by him yet, but it's not about the competition itself. It's like when I compete, I play to win. I don't participate if I don't plan to win. It's yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. So first place out of 850 people competing. That's amazing. So the reason I want to bring that up to you guys is because Robin is also he's amazing at sales and just the whole process around that. So we also wanted to include as a bonus to this towards the end of the training, some tips related to that, like tips related to positioning, getting inbound leads, follow-up, et cetera, because Robin is like probably the best person I've seen at that game. Like he's so good at sales in this way that's just very natural and authentic. And yeah, he's a pro at it. So I wanted to share that as well. And my man, I think that's awesome. Was there anything else from your background that I missed that you wanted to share, or you think that's pretty much everything?
I think it's pretty much everything. But I've competed my entire life. I always looked for ways to get better. Like I used to play football or soccer for American members, for Americans in my audience. Yeah, and I tried like everything I could to become better. Like everything that is legal, that is like, and I that's how I found out about mindset in the first place. And I kind of early understood like mindset separates the best from the average. And yeah, I started looking for ways to improve my mindset. And then I was lucky to find this education to become a mental performance coach here in Finland, where I live. And I felt like if I ever seen any sign, like if I ever found anything in my life that is tailored for me, this is it. And yeah, started education, started coaching people, got them great results. Here we are.
My man. Yeah, for sure. And just one other thing I want to tell everybody about you, Robin, is like you definitely practice what you preach. So you're this high performance coach that you really are high performance in everything that you do. So it's always like, just talking to you every time. It's like it's inspiring because yeah, you definitely walk the talk as well. So
that's the only way. That's the only way to lead.
Awesome. Awesome, brother. That's amazing. So yeah, we got 40 participants now. And again, welcome everybody. We got more people joining by the minute. 41, 42, I think it'll be. So yeah, so just a bit about me in case of, because I know a lot of you guys are also from Bilal's audience, from Robin's audience. So in case some of you guys aren't super familiar with me, you know, my name is Bo. It's pronounced Bo, the B-E-A-U, just like B-O. And yeah, I've been in the copywriting and marketing industry for over 6 years now. I spent, first 6 years as a copywriter, email marketer, managing email lists for clients, working with all kinds of clients, you know, from like tech startups to 7- and 8-figure clients in the direct response niche. And yeah, and then at the beginning of this year, I actually decided to quit client work and go all in on my own list and my own business and my own mastermind. And so that's basically where I'm at now. And yeah, I spent the last 3 years as a digital nomad. So I was traveling all around Europe and working online. Like that was basically always my dream, was to just work remotely and travel. And so that's what I did for 3 years. And I actually met the love of my life. Now I'm married, and now we're living in the United States again, here in North Carolina. But yeah, it was awesome time being a digital nomad. And yeah, it was thanks to copywriting that allowed me to do that. That's what gave me the freedom to achieve my dream of traveling and, you know, working remotely. So that's a quick summary of me, and just for anybody that didn't know that already. So yeah, super excited to dive into this with all you guys. We got a lot more people here, 46 people, super excited with all you guys. And we got a lot of awesome stuff prepared for you. So I think we're pretty much good to go. And
टाइट बंद
yeah.
करना, तुम सारा पानी गिरता है, लूज होता है.
And actually, yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind muting your microphones if you're not talking.
वो
That
छोड़
way,
दो,
any,
ये देखो हमेशा
any
इन चप्पलों
background
के
noise
साथ ये
doesn't
चप्पल
actually.
घुसी की होती है, अलग से इधर रख दो.
Here we got somebody here. I think it's
इधर रख दो या अंदर की तरफ रख दो.
Can you not do mute all on your end?
yeah. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we're good to go, guys, and let's take it away. So just before we dive in, just some quick notes about the actual presentation here in the training. So this won't be like a bunch of slides. This won't be like a standard like slide presentation with 300 slides of boring content, right? It'll be more like a discussion. So this will be something where, you know, it's like you're joining Robin and I and everybody, and Robin's just going to give you the real deal, like it's an actual discussion. And he's going to be giving you all the different tips. And yeah, he's just going to be presenting live with you. We have a lot of awesome stuff prepared that we're gonna share with you. But if at any point you guys want to chime in, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And you know, if there's anything you want to add, you can of course chime in. You can raise your hand, whatever the case may be. But yeah, this is going to be very fun and collaborative, and yeah, so it's going to be a blast. So yeah, I think with all that said, let's kick it off. Robin, you want to anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to add that we don't have a lot of slides for people to put their attention on. We want everybody to put their attention on Bo because he's so handsome. So he wants all the looks he can get. So yeah, that's how we roll here. And yeah, let's make it happen.
Awesome, brother. So guys, the training today is basically split into several different sections. So we have performance. So that's everything related to habits, sleep optimization, focus, productivity, all the different things related to, you know, how to be more productive, you know, morning routines, just all that different stuff, how to overcome writer's block, developing a prolific writing habit. We have all that stuff, and that's like the performance part of it. Then we're going to dive deep into mindset. So this will be all the stuff, you know, on how to perform at your best mentally, right? So it's going to be how to overcome imposter syndrome, how to develop rock solid confidence, how to develop a winning mindset, just all these different things related to winning the mental game. And then towards the third half of the call, we'll have something on sales. So it'll be related to, yeah, you know, how to actually follow up with clients, how to, you know, promote yourself without feeling like an imposter, you know, how to like follow up with clients without being annoying, how to position yourself to actually attract inbound leads, because Robin is actually really good at getting inbound leads. Like he gets a ton of them. And so we'll actually dive into that, because I know like as a copywriter, that's super important as well. Like everybody wants to have inbound leads coming in, right? And so we'll dive into that. And yeah, so then we got plenty more. So we got a lot of good stuff prepared for you guys. And yeah, let's dive in. So the first part is performance. And the idea here is, you know, I want to start with like this, it's called the thinking, like inversion thinking exercise. So this is something that Charlie Munger, the partner of Warren Buffett, talks about as like a problem solving mechanism, because humans are much better at identifying problems than they are at identifying solutions. And so just as a general tip for you guys, like if you're ever trying to solve a problem, if you can invert it and ask like how you would actually create that problem, the solutions tend to appear themselves, right? So as an example, let's say with a morning routine, right? Like if you want to have the perfect day, like don't try to think about how to have a perfect day. Try to think about how to have like the most terrible day you could possibly have, right? So let's just take like just a couple minutes, 2 minutes or so to just dive into this quick inversion thinking exercise. So imagine you guys want to have the worst day possible, like the most horrible day possible, right? Like let's say from the morning, like let's say you wanted to make the most terrible morning routine. What would you do? What are some things that you guys might do? You guys can drop in the chat as well. Any ideas? Yeah, Ewan says he would look at his phone, snooze. Colby says, start an argument with my girlfriend before breakfast. That's a great way to have a terrible morning, Colby.
That's the winner, I think.
That's that is the winning way to have a bad day. Yeah. Scroll Facebook in bed, Fred says. Jeffrey, go straight on social media. Exactly right. Arva says keep sleeping. Brad says, yeah, Colby. Abir says losing his job. Well, yeah, that would be a pretty bad way to start your morning as well. Sana says sleep again. Saba says burn my eggs. Yeah, that's definitely a way to do it. So I love it. Yeah, gaming, Ahmed says. Brad, wake up tired and irritable. So that's related to sleep, and actually we'll dive into that as well. Brad, yeah, Jen says oversleeping, waking up late. Yeah, so lots of good stuff there. And you can really think about this like in every way, right? So this isn't an exercise that I did for myself a while back when I was trying to design the perfect morning routine, right? And, you know, I thought to myself, okay, like if I really wanted to design the most terrible morning routine possible, what are the different things that I would do? And for me, it was like, okay, I would probably wake up late at inconsistent times, right? I would probably not go for a morning walk, for example. I would probably just, and I probably wouldn't even like get dressed up. I'd probably just stay in my pajamas all day. I wouldn't take a shower. I'd just look all like disheveled and everything. And I'd go straight on social media. I'd just, you know, waste my time scrolling. I wouldn't open a Word document at all. Like you wouldn't want to open a Word document. That would be the worst thing you could do as a copywriter if you wanted to be productive. Like if you didn't want to be productive, like you don't want to open a Word document, just spend all your time on social media. And, you know, maybe have a big high carb breakfast, like Fruit Loops, you know, or some like super high carb, high sugar cereal or something that start your day. So that you're like low energy when you even start, right? So those are some examples. What else you guys got here? We have waking up late and missing the gym. Yeah, Brad says fighting with my wife is big. Yeah, we can all relate to that. That's like the worst thing you could possibly do is get in a fight in the morning with your wife.
There's one thing none of them have mentioned yet, but that might be because they don't know me yet. But if they knew me, they would know that not reaching out to the performance coach in their corner when they have a horrible day is maybe the worst day to fuck up their performance. So,
exactly. Yeah. Not having the high performance coach in your corner.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Exactly. Any others there, Robin, that you thought of as well? Yeah, Colby said a great thing as well. Eating bad the night before, right? So yeah, exactly that. Imagine the night before you drink a bunch of alcohol and eat a gigantic meal right before bed, and then you go to sleep and you sleep like 5 hours, and you wake up with the worst hangover ever and sleep deprivation. So
yeah, no, I think it's funny actually, because it's even for me, even if I do this for a living, it's much easier to come up with terrible ways to like how it's easier to come up with terrible ways how to mess up your routine than come up with good ways. Well, we will go through some good ways here shortly. So share no more.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, you guys kind of got the idea, but yeah, that's just a fun exercise. I appreciate you guys chiming in and collaborating and dropping your ideas in the chat. So as we go through the presentation, if there's anything that you want to drop in, feel free to add it, because again, this is a collaborative call. So appreciate you guys chiming in on that. And okay, so we have like the worst day possible. We've outlined that. Okay, we know how to have the worst day possible, the worst morning possible. So let's dive into the actual things on how to optimize it, right? So let's say the opposite of all the things we talked about. What are the ways that we can improve that? And I think Robin, I'll let you take the stage, brother. And we're good to go.
We're going to start with one of the absolutely most important things, but which for some weird reason caused by hustle culture or whatever seems to be, people don't talk about it basically. It's like that topic is sleep. And I could talk about sleep during this entire call just to preach the value of it, but I will talk about other things as well. But like sleep is not something you can do when you have time. Sleep is as important to your performance as eating and drinking water. You can't live without it. Like if we could live without it, we wouldn't need to do it 1/3 of our lives. And I know when people feel busy, they try to sleep less hours to get more things done. But that's like wanting to run a 100-meter race, cutting your leg off because you want to run faster because your body weight drops. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You are killing your productivity. Like, this is not something I say because I do this for a living. There are like thousands and thousands of studies that shows like tremendous drops in productivity from one night of sleep loss. And like if you wake up sleep deprived, your productivity that day will be lower. It can't be higher than when you have slept enough. And if you do it over and over and over again, well, you're just messing up your own performance and also your health. It's terrible for your health long term. And studies seem to show that most of like Parkinson's, dementia, things like that, memory loss of any kind, usually goes back to being sleep deprived for a long time in your youth. So I know it might feel, if you're in your between 20 and 30s or even younger, right now it doesn't like affect you so much, but it will down the road. So please take your sleep seriously. I'll share some tips shortly on how to do it. But if you don't take anything else with you from this call, please remember that sleep is not a thing you can negotiate with. It's like you have to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So prioritize sleep above almost everything else. Like, it is really very important. So that's really just a key thing to start off with, is just emphasizing to you guys, like, take your sleep very, very seriously, because that will have just such a huge impact on your mental performance.
Yeah. And if any of you have done any kind of sport, like pro sport or semi-pro sport, or if you follow sports, there is, like, if you play in the NBA or MLS or whatever, MLB, if you come to a big game and you tell the coach, I haven't slept today, the coach will bench you even if you're the star player in the team. And like he's willing to bench you because if the athlete haven't slept enough, it shows that he's not serious about his performance. He doesn't care enough. But still, we think that we can do whatever. I'll sleep tomorrow. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's like the worst phrase I've ever heard in my life, because you're basically killing yourself 10 to 20 years in advance. So yeah, don't skip your sleep. We need it. And yeah, I'll share some practical tips you can start implementing right away that will benefit your sleep.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, I love that. So you want to dive into the 80-20 of sleep optimization and just all the top bullet points that people can follow for improving their sleep?
Yeah. And the like one thing people don't think about when it comes to sleep is like your sleep cycle. Like, you can improve your sleep quality basically from the second you wake up in the morning. So you don't start to improve your sleep like the minute you're going to bed. You start the second you wake up, because every living human being have an inner clock in us, and it's the sun that like it's connected to the sun. So when the sun rises, we are supposed to wake up and get up. And we're not only supposed to get up, we're supposed to expose ourselves for sunlight, because that's what humans have done like for thousands of years. So the first thing you should do when you wake up is to, first thing is you shouldn't snooze, because when you snooze, you're basically telling your dreams, your goals, whatever, that you're not serious about them. Like you prefer your sleep or like sleeping in over getting shit done. And there will be no need for you to sleep in if you optimize your sleeping routine, because you will wake up energized. If you wake up feeling like a train have driven over you, like if you wake up feeling like a train wreck, you haven't slept good enough. If you wake up energized and you're like, hell yeah, today I'm going to crush this day, doesn't matter what happened, then you're probably your sleep quality is probably great. And so number one thing, don't snooze. Number two, expose yourself to sunlight. And if any one of you live way up north, like I do, I live in Finland, Scandinavia, we don't see sun basically between November and beginning of February, like for real. It's dark most of the days. It's dark when we wake up. It's dark when we go to bed. It's hard to expose yourself to sunlight. But even if you expose yourself to any kind of light, like the sun might not be up, but you put on the lights in your house, that's better than like walking the first hour in the dark in your house. As soon as possible after you open your eyes, you should expose yourself to light, because that sets the tone for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such an important thing also to keep in mind, you guys. So that one thing has been huge for me. And so you really can't overestimate the importance of getting light first thing in the morning, bright, like actual daylight in your eyes. And even if it's a cloudy day outside, right, even if it's super overcast, you still get far more actual light, even on a cloudy day when you go outside than when you're inside. And so this is one of the other things. Like if you want to have just a terrible day, a terrible morning, just stay in a very dark house or apartment, from the moment you wake up, and don't go outside, because that will make sure your circadian rhythms aren't like properly tuned, and you're not going to have as much energy as you want. And you're going to be like foggy headed, right? And so if you ever wake up feeling super out of it, right? If you're mentally foggy, if you're not fully with it, if you go outside and you actually get some sunlight, that can actually make you feel more mentally clear. And this is something that's been huge for me, right? Because I used to wake up a lot with brain fog, and I was just super out of it. And I wasn't able to focus on writing. I wasn't able to be productive. And one of the biggest changes I made was just waking up and getting bright light first thing in the morning. So whether that's like a walk, right, or maybe just go outside on your balcony or wherever the case may be, you want to get that light in your eyes, like natural bright light in your eyes, as soon as possible, because that will make you feel mentally alert and ready to go to start the day. So that's a huge point.
Yeah. And it's I would like to add that it's especially like it's extra important on cloudy days, because if it's a sunny day, you can get exposed to sunlight like even by sitting inside by a window. But if it's a cloudy day, you have to get out, because you will still get the sun. You will still get, like, the sun is still up. It's just clouds in the way. So it's extra important on cloudy days, actually. So it's good to remember.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the reason why I work near a window. So you guys, I'll just show you guys. I actually work right next to the window, like to get as much light as possible. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's so good to work like near a window if you can, because that lets you get that natural light in your eyes. And I just feel like much more alert when I'm working near an actual window, as opposed to in like a dark corner somewhere. And so that's another thing that you can do. In addition to ideally waking up and going for a morning walk is a good thing as well. I know Robin does that. I do that. I know this is a big thing you're a fan of, Robin. So
yep, for sure. Starting the days with like five small wins. Start my morning. It's going on a walk is one of them. So it's hard to lose the day if you start the day winning.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And also on the point of taking a walk in the morning. So Robin once sent me this this image of a brain. They actually did a brain scan and they compared two different brains, like one that was sitting and one that was walking. And the one that was walking had like a bunch more blood flow to the actual creative parts of the brain. And it was crazy to see because you saw like the strong before and after difference of a brain that's just like, yeah, just sitting and a brain that's walking. And so going on walks is also one of the best ways that you guys can trigger your creativity and actually come up with ideas for writing. Like some of the best ideas you'll ever have will be during long walks. I think it was Nietzsche, the philosopher, that said like, no idea, like all good ideas come while you're on a walk or something like that. Like that's the essence of it. Right. So that's a big thing as well.
And yeah, and I want to add up, like, because I suspect most of the people here are copywriters, because this training is for copywriters or marketers. You are some sort of creative, because you use you use more of your brain capacity during the day. That means that your brain takes longer to recharge during the night. That means that sleep is extra important to you if you have a creative job. And this is, there are, if you don't believe me, just Google it. But yeah, it's true. So it's good to remember. You won't get more productive by skipping sleep. You will get less.
Yeah, for sure.
And
so
now I was going to add, just speaking about light and things like that. It's basically like the things you do in the morning when you wake up, you do the reverse at night before going to bed. I will go more in detail into that, but like most of you probably already know that bright lights late in the evening is a bad idea. And bright light is both from lamps, natural light, but especially from screens, blue screen, so blue light. So it's avoid that if possible. And like the further away from your bedtime that you spend time on some sort of electronic device, the better. Watching TV in the bed is a no-go. Scrolling TikTok or YouTube in bed is a no-go. Answering work mails in your bed is a no-go. I really don't care what you do on your phone. You shouldn't use it in bed ever. There's only two things you should do in bed, and that's sleeping or sleeping. And yeah, you can.
Yeah, for sure, really. I love that. So yeah, avoiding blue light at night, right? So you guys have also, there's this, I don't know how many of you guys have this enabled, but there's the night shift feature on your phone and on your devices that basically, makes it so that your devices don't emit blue light at night. It changes the color spectrum of your screen so that you're not actually getting that blue light in your eyes at night. So that's another like hack that you guys can do that I recommend all of you do if you haven't done it already on your devices, is just turn on night mode. You can do it on all modern devices, on Android, on iPhones, and also on your computer as well. I know all Macs, for example, have a blue light filter setting that you can turn on.
Yeah, and I saw someone wrote here in the chat, grayscale is a great way. It makes the phone look boring as heck, like you just want to throw away the phone, which is a good thing because we're all addicted. So yeah,
that's a great point, Jen. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I've heard about that as a hack, like people turning their phones on grayscale, so there's no colors, and it basically makes it like horrible to look at, and you don't get addicted to your phone.
It works the same way as if you ever go out partying and you're like out in the bar and I don't know, you think that everybody looks attractive, and then they turn the lights on, like they turn off the disco lights and they turn on the real lights, and you're like, oh man, yeah, well, time to head home. Grayscale works the same on your phone.
I've been speaking from experience there, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe can't confirm or deny.
Good stuff. So what about alcohol, Robin? You want to talk a bit about that? Because related to the going out and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll talk about alcohol, basically any kind of substance, and also melatonin and sleeping pills. I'll combine them all here. This is true for all of them. Alcohol, many people say they need like a glass of wine or a beer or whatever, a shot of whiskey to fall asleep, and it actually helps you fall asleep faster for many people if you're used to it. But it's terrible for your sleep quality. And sleep quality, like it's important to spend enough hours in bed every night, at least 6.5, more for most people. But it's the quality that is actually like the important part. So when you're sleeping, you have different sleep cycles. You have light sleep, you have REM sleep, and you have deep sleep. And you want to spend as much as possible of your night in REM. That's or like even also called dream sleep, or deep sleep or dream sleep. That's where you want to be. And when you drink alcohol, when you take melatonin, when you take sleeping pills, you spend almost like not any time in those deep sleep states, which you need, which is like many people that take sleeping pills tells me that they fall asleep much faster, but when they wake up, they feel groggy, they feel hangover, even if they haven't drunk. It's because, well, it's not a natural substance, first and foremost, and it doesn't matter if you sleep 10 hours. If your sleep quality is really poor, you will feel really bad when you wake up anyway. You will feel tired. So that's why I always recommend people to try every like natural way, like everything you can to optimize your sleeping routine first. And if nothing else helps, if you have some deep-rooted issues, that some trauma of some sort, then like some sort of medicine or substance might be like the last resort. But you should never begin with any alcohol or sleeping pills or things like that to improve your sleep. That's the absolute last thing you should do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's for sure. I remember Andrew Huberman, who has a podcast. He's like a scientist that studies all this stuff about like performance optimization. And yeah, you know, ever since watching his episode on alcohol, like I've cut out almost all alcohol, because it's like even a single drink, for example, can have a very big impact on your sleep and make you feel just way worse. And so like I was in the habit when I was living in Europe, you know, it's like part of the culture. You normally have like, yeah, you know, a drink with dinner or something, like, you know, a glass of wine or something. But I would notice that I would wake up and I would feel less rested than I would like. And so, yeah, you know, I did like occasionally, you know, for social occasions, you know, I'll still, you know, if we're with friends or something, you know, have a drink. But it's like, you know, definitely it has a big impact on your sleep. Alcohol does, like it really destroys your sleep. And so, you know, if you can, I definitely recommend consuming it in moderation, and also not before, like not within 3 hours of going to bed is what all the sleep experts say. You know, it's worse if you consume it right before bed, because then you're still processing it in your body before you actually, before you go to sleep. Or while you're sleeping, you're still processing it, and that disrupts your sleep cycles. So
yeah, for sure. And while we're speaking about like things that destroy your sleep, caffeine is actually good for you. And I know all copywriters will celebrate now and take their 16th cup of coffee this morning, but in moderation, please. 1 to 2, let's say maximum 4 cups of coffee per day is like not hurting you. But if you drink 3 out of those 4 in the evening, it's hurting your sleep, because caffeine have a really long what is it called? The shell, like the amount of time it's in your body. So yeah, so it's it takes like, you shouldn't drink coffee at least 6 hours before you're going to bed. So if you're going to bed at 10 p.m., you shouldn't have coffee before 4, after 4. Like the longer between your cup of coffee and you going to bed, the better. And as I said, coffee in the morning is actually good for you, but you shouldn't drink too much of it and not too late at night. Because I used to drink a lot of energy drinks in my youth when I was stupid.
Oh my God.
And that made me I can tolerate like a really high amount of caffeine. Like I can drink 6 cups of coffee without feeling more energized than I did before. And I can also drink coffee like right before I go to bed. I can still fall asleep. But it's real. But when I wake up, even if I sleep 8, 9, 10 hours, I feel like shit. And that's the same thing as with alcohol. It interrupts your sleep quality, because caffeine is made to feel like it's supposed to make you feel energized, and you shouldn't take things that make you energized before you try to relax. That should be common sense. So yeah, drink your cup of coffee, but drink them before noon, and you're golden.
Yeah, and that applies to all kinds of caffeine, by the way, because I know people were asking, like, you know, that apply to, I think Brad, your question, right, was mate. I know you're a fan of mate. So it's about the caffeine, right? It's not about
Yes.
the type of beverage. It's any kind of caffeinated beverage.
Yes.
So Robin, 6 hours before you go to bed, you said, right?
Yeah.
I think that's like the minimum, ideally even like 8 or so, because the half-life is 8
Yeah.
hours, correct? So
Yes.
mhm.
Correct.
Yeah. So the half-life is 8 hours. So if you go to bed at
Got it.
yeah, if you go to bed at 10 p.m., for example, then you'd want to stop ideally at 2 p.m. And
Yeah.
yeah. So
it's funny, like if you really like plan to optimize your sleep, you will very soon you won't feel the need for coffee. You won't have the afternoon crash. You won't feel like a train wreck when you wake up in the morning. You won't feel like a train wreck in the evening. It's easy for me to say because I do this for a living and my sleep is as optimized as it can be. So of course I'm promoting it, but I want all of you on this call to try it. Like, give it 3 weeks, try to do everything you can to optimize your sleep, and your need for caffeine will go down quickly.
yeah, for sure. And a couple of people were asking as well, Robin, in the comments, like
Mhm.
if they don't drink coffee, for example,
Yes.
do you recommend having some form of caffeine, or is it cool
No.
if they're
It's like, when I say caffeine is good for you, it doesn't mean like you have to take it to live a long, healthy, prosperous life. It's if you're not addicted to caffeine, that's best case scenario according to me. I don't think anything that you get addicted to is good like long term, even if it's in small amounts. So if you're not drinking coffee or energy drinks, please don't start. You're better off not starting.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things where, yeah, if you're not drinking it, like, you don't have to feel obligation to drink it or pressure to drink it. Like, you're good to go. Most people have the opposite problem where they're super addicted to coffee, and you know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it does have some, like, a lot of course, like, mental performance benefits. Like, as a writer, that's why a lot of writers are big on, drinking caffeine. A lot of writers are addicted to coffee because it's like, as you drink it, you definitely, like, it improves your focus, it improves your concentration, and so it is a powerful, like, mental stimulant, but it's definitely not totally required. And if you find that you can focus without it, then more power to you, and no need to get addicted to it. So
Yeah.
Brad, did you have a question?
No, I'm okay. No. I think I
Okay,
was
it shows that you had
asking
raised your hand, but
yeah, sorry about that.
yeah, no worries. So yeah, and by the way, guys, just I guess for some context, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the reason I'm also so passionate and nerdy about this stuff is because I basically learned this the hard way. Like, I learned all this stuff the hard way. So my first when I got started as a copywriter, I landed my first retainer client at the Silicon Valley tech startup, and I had a ton of work to do. Like, I was their senior copywriter, and I had to write all of their copy. And the thing that was so crazy was that I would wake up, and I didn't know all these different things, and so I would sit down to write, and I could not focus. I was like, I had terrible brain fog. I wasn't able to be productive, and I was like, it was very stressful, like very high pressure. And I started to realize, like, okay, I need to figure this out. Like, I need to actually get my mental performance like optimized, because if I don't, I'm going to be screwed, And so I started, like, reading all the books on sleep optimization, performance optimization, learning all about just performance, how to improve your performance, how to improve your sleep, how to improve your focus, all this different stuff. And I made a lot of these positive changes in my life that we're talking about, and it made a dramatic difference. And, ever since, I'm really passionate about it, because, like, it's very important as a copywriter, because, the state of your mind is what influences how productive you are, right? And that influences the quality of copyright and the quantity of copy you're able to write. It's all on how the state of your mind is, right? And so you want to really optimize your mind in order to succeed as a copywriter. And so that's the reason I'm so passionate about it, and that's why this is important stuff we're talking about here. But I just wanted to give some context there. But Anything else, Robin? What are some other things you'd suggest for sleep optimization? You want to just go over some of the top bullet points?
Yeah,
Quick?
I'll share like a few things you can do to optimize your sleep when you go to bed at night, or like as in your like to add in your night routine. And these things are really simple, but I still have people paying me enough money to help me solve them. And then I tell them, like, don't scroll on your phone, don't scroll TikTok in your bed. And they put away their phone and they don't scroll TikTok for 2 weeks, and their sleep is optimized basically. So this is not rocket science, but I'm going to share a few things you can implement tonight, and your sleep will probably be better this coming night than it was the previous night. So the first thing is, don't use your electronics in bed. I know I said that already, but you don't even want to bring your phone to the bedroom. Like, you want to have your phone outside of the bedroom and on airplane mode. And if you need an alarm to wake up, you should buy an old school alarm clock from Amazon for $5-10 and use that. The other thing is, you should sleep in a bedroom that is as dark as possible. And when I say as dark as possible, is basically when you go into the bedroom at night, you should barely be able to see your bed. Like, if you hit your toe in the bedpost a few times, well, that's a sign that your bedroom is dark enough. This has to do with, as I said in the beginning, your body is and your brain is tuned by light. It's like, it's light that decides when your body goes into sleep and when it wakes up. So the darker your bedroom is, the sooner you will be able to fall asleep, and the deeper your sleep will be. And you should also try to have it as quiet as possible in your bedroom. And if you live in a big city, I would recommend earplugs, because sound is something that, like, if your brain keep hearing sound during the night, it will think that it's some danger. This goes back to the Stone Age when we lived in caves. If you woke up during the night from some sound, it was probably someone trying to kill you. That doesn't happen very often anymore. So you don't need to hear everything going on. And it's good to remember that our brains are like optimized for survival. That's like how our brains are wired. To make the human race survive, we had to be ready for all the threats and things out in the nature. And that's why many things we do today is they don't make any sense anymore. Like, on a surface level, they don't make any sense, but on a survival level, they make sense. But we're not here to survive, we're here to thrive. So that's why you need to optimize your performance.
Yeah. I love what you said about noise as well, Robin. So, like, one thing that I do is, I sleep with an eye mask on to block out all light, and also earplugs. So there's like two different kinds. You can get like foam earplugs, or you can get silicone earplugs like swimmers use. I actually use the silicone ones because they block out noise better for me. But whatever kind that you actually use, for me, that's just a game changer. And my wife also does the same. And like for us both, like, it's so huge. Like, this is probably one of the biggest things for me personally, for improving my sleep, is like, I have to sleep with an eye mask on and earplugs in. That way it's totally blacked out and there's no sound, and you're just in this dark, soundless environment that's perfect for sleep. So if you guys haven't yet, definitely recommend an eye mask, or sleeping in a totally pitched black room with blackout curtains. But that's a bit harder than just getting an eye mask, right? So and also, like, when you're traveling, an eye mask is really convenient. I recommend that as well, like an eye mask and earplugs.
Yeah.
And Brad, you can get them at a pharmacy. Yeah. So I got mine at Walgreens. Pretty much any pharmacy will have earplugs that you can get. And
Yep. Yeah, and I have, like, as I said, this entire call could be about sleep, but we're going to talk about other things as well. So I think we'll move on. I'll just add like the perfect morning routine. I know I touched on it later, but I'll say, like, how I do is I get up immediately when the alarm goes off, which usually don't go off because my body wakes me up before the alarm goes off, because it's a routine. But I have a like safety alarm just in case I would sleep in, that I don't sleep too late. So get out of bed as soon as the alarm goes off, expose myself to light right away, drink a big glass of water, and then I start brewing the coffee. Don't drink the coffee before water, because when you sleep, your body is dehydrated when you wake up. If you drink coffee, it gets even more so. When people say, I have a headache, I need my coffee, it's not the coffee that you need, it's the water. And most people don't drink nearly enough water. So drink the water first, then you can drink the coffee. There you have it. This is like basically backed by science morning routine, worth millions of dollars, but you don't even have to take like cold showers or infrared sauna or go for a marathon run. Just do these 3 things and you will see improvements in your energy and in your sleep.
Yeah, that's amazing, brother. Yeah, exactly. It's huge. And about the water thing, like you guys see me, like if I'm ever on calls, like you see me like drink coffee, but also I drink a ton of water, and I literally just poured some more for myself. So definitely, especially if you're drinking coffee, you need to be drinking a bunch of water, because coffee dehydrates you, as Robin said. So yeah, that's a huge one. Any last things about sleep, Robin? I mean, there were a lot of things that we covered, and I think that was I know we have a lot more to cover.
Yeah, I have one important thing, like one important thing still. It's be as consistent as possible with your sleep. Like try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. And I don't talk about like 2 days per week. I talk about 7 days per week. So I go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on weekends. And it might sound boring, but it don't feel boring when I wake up and ready to kick ass every day. People always ask me, why do you have so much energy? I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? Like, it's even if I didn't do anything else right during the entire day, like my sleep is so fine-tuned that I wake up ready to like wonder what competition we are going to win today, or like wondering what way we're going to crush this day. Let's make some shit happen. And
guys, that is a huge point that Robin just said. So Matthew Walker, who is like a world-renowned sleep expert, he's been on the Joe Rogan Experience. He's written books on sleep. He was asked on the Joe Rogan podcast, like, what's the number one thing you can do to improve your sleep? And he said probably the number one thing is just to wake up at the exact same time every single day. It's so crazy just how simple that is, but that's so important, because the time that you wake up sets your circadian rhythm for the day, and that basically like your body's energy is basically tuned to that. And so if you're waking up at odd times, like different times every single day, it's going to be very hard for your body to optimize itself and actually give you the energy when you need it.
Yes, this is true with all habits, by the way. That's like why we have habits in the first place. Why humans are like, why we use habits, why we get like we create habits and then we just do them without thinking. It's because every time you create a habit, you save your brain from energy thinking, when should I do this? If you every night have to think, when should I go to bed? Oh, not yet. I'm going to doom scroll until I fall asleep. Oh, when should I wake up? Oh, I'm too late to work. All this extra mental energy is energy you could put down on your work. Like, it's the more healthy habits you have, the more energy you will have, for multiple reasons. But one big reason is because you save that energy so you can use it on more important things, and not these ridiculous things. When should I start the dishwasher, or no, when should I, like, what shirt should I have to work tomorrow? Just handle it, make it a habit, like remove the resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Bilal, did you have a question, brother? I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a question. I put it in the chat before, but I guess Robin missed it. So I have a buddy of mine, he's just used to sleeping late. Like he's been doing this for a few years now, and he just cannot sleep before like it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. before that. No matter how early he goes to bed, it's the same thing. He just lays there awake. So what do you think should do about that? Like if you try to go in the routine, but you can't.
I think I do think like that's the case, because it's what he used to. You said he did it for years, so it's a really strong habit by now. The way to remove your, or like to move your bedtime or waking up time is by doing it slowly. Like move 15 to 30 minutes at a time, because it's really hard if he's used to go to bed at 2 a.m. to start try going to bed 10 p.m. It won't happen, because your body thinks you have 5 hours still to be awake. So start with 15 to 30 minutes is what I would tell him, and then just remove it, like week by week. You take it closer to the desired time, and in 6 months he will be sleeping like a baby at 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well said, Robin. Yeah. So I think that's, I mean, there was a lot of stuff on sleep there. If you guys, have any questions, you can drop in the chat, but I think there was a lot that we covered there, and we still have a lot more to cover. So I think we can go on to the next part. Just one note also about caffeine. One last thing, guys, is you want to wait to drink caffeine and coffee until 90 minutes after waking. So this is something that's been tested and studied. Also, Andrew Huberman, they've done research on this. Basically, if you drink coffee first thing after waking up, you crash harder, and it doesn't have as powerful of an effect with the caffeine. Because like when you first wake up, you have natural energy levels that you should like utilize. And so, yeah, they say, ideally you want to push that window to when you drink caffeine until after 90 minutes after waking. So.
Very true.
Yeah, for sure. So next part, productivity and morning routine. Robin, you wanna dive into the next section? I know we covered a lot of stuff here already.
Yeah, I think I mentioned the productive morning routine. I'll give some tips for productivity for copywriters, creative people, like especially. And we talked about the sun exposure. I would say you should always aim to do deep work as early as possible in the day, because deep work is something that's moves the needle forward, like in a big way. But it's also something that takes a lot of mental energy if you just postpone it, procrastinate. This is true with everything, but like the bigger the task, the harder it will be. The more you procrastinate on something, the smaller the chance that you actually get it done. So if you're really serious about like, I want to become the best damn copywriter on earth, get a deep work window on, let's say, start with 2 hours or like 1 hour. Even if you do 10 minutes deep work, it's a good start. It's better than 0. It's better than thinking the entire day, oh yeah, I'll do it in the evening. No, you won't. In the evening, you will watch Netflix and eat Cheetos, I don't know, or whatever, some procrastination. And if you really want like to level up and put time for client work and like become a better writer, take a window before noon, I would prefer, and just do deep work. And then you have done the hardest part of your workday before noon. That's a big win. You will feel unstoppable the rest of the day. Even if you wouldn't accomplish anything else, you have at least accomplished the deep work. But chances are you will accomplish a lot more, because now you have momentum on your side. Now you want to kick ass the entire day. You don't want to kick ass the half day. You want to kick ass the entire day. And so sunlight exposure, do deep work in the morning before noon. And when you do deep work, don't check your phone. Deep work means your phone is in airplane mode and you just work. And don't watch notifications on your computer either.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can use social media and email or whatever you tend to get stuck in as a reward. Like after I've done deep work, I can scroll social media for 30 minutes. That's fine. But we're all addicted to our phones, so we have to find ways to get around it.
Yeah. People were just asking about night shifts, and it's like, if you have to work a night, like night shifts are not good for your health. It's really bad to actually work a night shift, because it screws with your natural rhythms. And they've even done studies on this where like if you like night shift workers have higher risks of like cancer and like just higher mortality rates overall, because it's really not healthy for your body, because it disrupts your circadian rhythm. But if like the best thing is to find a job where you don't have to work night shifts. But if you have no choice, the best bet would just be to do all the other things that we're talking about, like to optimize your sleep in every other way. So
the reason why night shift is so bad for your health is because you fight against the sun, and you can't win against the sun. Like you fight against your natural instincts. Like the only way to get away with night shift is like if you do it in a really short span of time, let's say 6 months or 2 years maximum when you're in your 20s. You should never do night shift consistently, like in years and years and years on end, because I'm sorry to say it, but studies show those people tend to die soon. That's the horrible truth. Like night shift is not made for humans' health. Night shift is only made for capitalism. I'm a fan of capitalism, but I also think it's ridiculous. Like, we don't care about your health. Here is 2 cents more an hour. Go kill yourself on night shift. It's like, what the heck, man? If they really cared about the employees, they wouldn't offer night shift. That's my belief. I've got asked, one of the biggest companies in my region have thousands of employees. They have asked me to come speak to them about sleep, but I refused because they have a night shift. Because if I get up on stage in front of all 1,000 employees and I say, yeah, well, every one of you that's working night shift should quit your job, wouldn't be so popular. So I just refused to go there because it is terrible for you. There is no way around it. So if it's possible, please find another job, or like talk with your supervisor and say, I ain't doing this anymore.
Exactly. And one more like fast question on this, Robin. So Dean asked earlier about toddlers and like babies. I know you're going to be a dad soon. Your wife is pregnant with twins, and so this will be something that you get firsthand experience with. But any quick tips for anybody that like has kids? Like that's got to be much harder.
That's really tricky. That's like the $1 billion question. I get asked it quite frequently. I'm actually wondering if I should like convert to a sleep coach for toddlers. It's like, but
very lucrative niche.
Yeah, for sure. It's like when you have babies, you have like to sleep when you can. It's like the problem with like people that work normal jobs that don't sleep is like they don't sleep during the night, and then they are half asleep, feel like a zombie during the day. But if you're home with your kids, you can at least like sleep. You can sleep during the day. Sleep when you can, because the baby ain't sleeping phase is just a phase. It won't be forever. So it might suck now for, I don't know, 3 months, 3 years, but it won't suck forever. So just sleep when you can, and you'll get through it as well. That's my advice.
Yeah, well said, Robin. Yeah, very well said. So, I think this is good. A lot of stuff on sleep. I hope you guys got a lot of value from that section, and yeah. So moving on to the next part. So, writer's block. Robin, you wanna dive into a bit about writer's block, because this is, you said the number one question that copywriters ask you, right, is how to overcome writer's block. This is the universal question. This is the timeless pain point of copywriters. So, what do you recommend for overcoming writer's block?
I would recommend to get the heck up from your chair and go do something else than sitting at your computer. That's the so this has to do, like, this is for multiple reasons. I'll explain a few of them. You can't force yourself to peak performance, by the way. That's like why you have to optimize your habits, so peak performance comes to you by default. You can't force yourself into flow, because as soon as you think, oh, I'm in flow now, you're out of flow. You can't force creative ideas, because creativity is something that flows to you. It's something in your, like, it's when you're aligned with your subconscious. When you try to force things, you're in your conscious mind, the survival part of your brain, and you can't get as creative as you are supposed to be when you try to force it. So if you can't come up with something to write, get up, go for a walk, go for a shower, get a massage, go lift weights, do something else. It doesn't have to be for hours, but just do something else in this very moment. Come back 10 minutes later, 1 hour later. And many times when you move, you get access to these creative juices. And those are, of course, really important because you work as a writer. And one way to like fill your brain with this, or like to increase the chances of getting access to the creative juices, is by doing a lot of research. And not only research about the things you're about to write about, but also about like read a lot. I know copywriters by default read more than the average human, but you don't want to be just a copywriter. You want to be a great copywriter. So you have to do more research. You have to learn more things than others. And it's the same as with sleep. Like, the magic happens when you do something else. Because when you're doing something else, let's say doing the dishes, but you have a project you have to write some emails for, you can't come up with ideas. Your brain already knows that, and your problem is made. Your brain is made for solving problems. That's how the human race has survived. You solve your problems, and you survive, basically. But you can't force it. So when you do dishes, you don't have to think as much when you're doing dishes or go for a walk. You just let the creative juices do whatever they want. You let your subconscious connect. And once your subconscious is connected, you will solve the problem. Like, because your subconscious has every answer possible. you already, like when I coach people, most of the people already know what to do, but they just want to hear it from me. Or when I ask a question, they're like, yeah, well, I would do it in this way. And then I ask, well, why don't you? Yeah, well, I've never thought about it. And I'm like, yeah. And I just asked the question. I didn't give them something new. I just got the answer out of them, from them. And that's because it's already in your subconscious. And if you really feel like I can't come up with any ideas, I don't know anything about this niche, well, then it's research. Then you just read and read and read and read until you learn something about that niche. But I would recommend you write things in the niche you already know things about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well said there, Robin. Yeah. So, one thing that's really big is, idea generation, because people they have trouble, like, how do I come up with ideas to write about? Like, I don't have enough ideas, right? And so some things that I found super helpful for you guys is, this is something I'm sure a lot of you guys already do this, but this is a basic one, is definitely keep a notes list in your phone. So you want to keep a list in your phone of any ideas that come up to you throughout the day. So like in my phone, I have this, and it's literally just the notes app in iPhone. But you can use any note-taking app whatsoever, and just have like a list of ideas that come to you throughout the day, because some of your best ideas will come to you when you're away from the computer. So you'll be on a walk and you'll think of something, and it's like, okay, let me jot that down. Or you'll be in the kitchen or something, and or you'll be grocery shopping and an idea will come to you, and you just want to jot that down, because some of the best ideas do come when you're away from the computer.
Yes.
So
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you also, like, if you want to put your subconscious on speed dial and be able to access it as soon as possible, you should do free writing. And you can do this on your computer, but I would absolutely recommend you do it by a pen and paper. So this means like you have something, you have a problem you need to solve. You have something you have to write about. You can come up with ideas. You just take a pen and paper, and you start writing about whatever. You can write about your mother, your childhood, your dreams. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't have anything to do with the topic at all. But if you do this for long enough and enough times, the solution to the problem will start appearing on the paper as you write. Because when you write with a pen and paper, you connect the subconscious. But it's not the same when you write on a computer. It's because when you're writing like with your own style, your brain recognizes it right away. It's like, oh, this is a part of my identity. Oh, it looks like when I was back in school and used to write, like, oh, I know this guy, and then you get things out of your mind, and I see like you get out the trap so you can access the gold. And this is why, like, writing, talking to someone, like even if you go to therapy, if you have a coach, doesn't really matter. You can just record yourself speaking just to get the messy stuff, the stuff that doesn't matter, out of your head, so you can access the good ideas.
Yeah, well said, Robin. Yeah. And I love what you said too about pre-writing. And another thing that I do that you guys will find helpful is, I call it rapid fire brainstorming. So before you sit down to write, before you actually begin writing, you want to brainstorm before the actual writing session. And the reason that is because you want to just get the idea muscle going, right? And so if you ever like confronted a blank page and you're like, oh my God, I got to write the perfect first line, it's horrible, right? It's very difficult to come up with like the perfect first line when you're just starting. And so what you want to do is you just brainstorm a list of ideas. So what I do is just in the Word document, I'll just create like a bullet list, and I'll just come up with all the ideas that I think of, right? So if I'm writing emails, I'll just brainstorm all the different topics that I could possibly write about, and anything that comes to mind, you just want to put it on the page, right? So it could be something that's even stupid. Like, the idea is, don't let your inner critic get in the way, and don't filter yourself, right? So this is your opportunity to just let it all out, and that's why it's rapid fire brainstorming. So anything that comes to your mind, the first thing, you just write it down, and you just write as many ideas as possible, and you just do that for 15 minutes. So I set a timer for 15 minutes of rapid fire brainstorming before I write any of my emails or do any writing, and that basically gets the idea muscle going. And then you'll have this list after the 15 minutes is over. You have this list of ideas, right? And basically you can choose any of them, and you can be like, okay, this is my topic, this is what I want to write about, and then you just delete all the other ideas and you write about that one. And now you have like the perfect topic, the perfect idea, and your creative juices are flowing, and so you're able to just get straight into the writing session. And I found, for me, that's been one of the biggest writing habits, especially for writing emails. If you don't know what to write about in your emails, before every writing session, when you sit down and write emails, brainstorm 15 minutes, just a bullet list of all the different ideas that you have.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And also I want to add, like, I'm not a copywriter, just so you know, everybody on this call. I'm not a copywriter. I'm a coach for copywriters, marketers, other high performers.
But you're good at writing copy.
I'm good at coming up with ideas because I take care of myself. Like, I optimize my performance during the day. I'm now reading content on my Facebook feed for almost 400 days in a row, at least 2 posts per day. And I recently started my email list. I send out 6 emails per day, per week at least. And I've never had like in the last, I don't think I've once in the last 6 months ever have gotten like writer's block. And that's not because I'm a genius. My grades in school are terrible. English is my 3rd language. It's I don't think I read more than any one of you. I for sure don't do more research. I don't think it's not that I'm smart. It's because I optimize my performance, so the ideas come to me. Like, I get ideas all the time. I have like, I don't know, thousands of notes in my phone with ideas. And it's, if you're really passionate about your niche, you will come up with ideas. There are ideas everywhere. And yeah, it's take care of yourself, your mindset, your health, your mental health, everything. Optimize your performance, and ideas will just flow to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And one more point on that, guys, is do not edit while you write. This is a universal thing with that writers. Every writer will tell you this. And it's actually scientifically proven, because you have a different part of your brain that's used for editing and a different part of your brain that's used for creating. And if you try to combine them and you're creating and editing at the same time, it just doesn't work, and it screws up your creative process. So because it's like the editing part of your brain is like a critic, and that's like telling you, looking for all the different things that's wrong. And the creative part of your brain is like, just wants to generate all the different ideas possible. And so you want to give like full power to your creative mind when you're writing, and just write and flow, and then you can come back and edit later. But whatever you do, don't edit while you write.
Yeah, it's I fully agree. It's about the conscious and the subconscious. Once again, they are the opposite parts of the brain, or not opposites, but they are 2 different parts of the brain. What the edit part is the conscious, which is, you need it, but you don't need it while writing. And you don't need it while like trying to get into flow. You need it to survive and like take some logical decisions during your journey here on Earth. But the subconscious is where all your knowledge is stored. And if you have a hard time believing this, I want to ask you: have you ever dreamed something weird? Like, have you dreamed about your high school crush together on a polar bear while seeing, I don't know, the President of the United States shaking hand with, I don't know, a penguin? Well, I have. And what happens when you're asleep is your subconscious takes like every thought you ever had that is still in your brain, every experience you ever experienced, and every dream you ever, like everything you felt like, oh, that would be nice to accomplish. It just takes all these things because you thought about them. They are stored in your subconscious, and it just like make a smoothie of them. You just make a smoothie. And that's like when you wake up, sometimes you're like, holy, am I like batshit crazy? Like, do normal people dream shit like this? Yes, they do. That's because your subconscious is going on an adventure when you're asleep. So because you're not thinking critically like when you're asleep. And that's why you dream crazy dreams. But you can access all this big storage with everything. You can access while you're awake, and you should. But it's to do that, you have to learn how to shut up the inner critic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said, Robin. Yeah. So just as a quick recap for that, for you guys. So, for me, the creative process is like, you want to put your phone in airplane mode in a different room. So don't even write near your phone. When you open up the Word document, rapid fire brainstorm for 15 minutes, just let it all out there and get that creativity muscle going. And then, you want to block off at least 3 hours for deep work. You don't want to be doing other things at the same time. You want it when it's time to write, like just dedicate that time to writing. And it's best if that's first thing in the morning, early in the morning, right? So after you've gone for like a morning walk, whatever you've done in the morning, you want to reserve that time for just, deep work, 3 hours of just writing, and just let that be, your sole focus. And don't like write a little bit and then do something else and then write a little bit again. Like that doesn't work very well, because your brain works best when you focus on one thing for an extended period of time. So so that's really what it's about. It's about that deep work. And so yeah, you know, brainstorm 15 minutes and then just, you know, dive in and start writing, and just give yourself that full amount of time without distraction to write. That's really the best way to overcome writer's block and be productive. So
I have a simple exercise right now for everybody that like feel they have a problem focusing on one thing at a time. I know copywriter struggles with this because I've coached a few. If you're on a computer, which I suppose you are, just look how many tabs you have open and close them all except this window. And if you're telling me, oh, it's for research purposes, I don't give a shit. It's not. You haven't watched those. Those tabs in like 16 months. Well, I have 58 open. I know exactly what is where. Well, it's terrible for your brain health. It's terrible for your computer, and it's terrible for your performance, and it's terrible for your focus. So close to those damn tabs.
Close those damn tabs. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
No, but it's a real thing. Like your computer gets slow if you have many programs running in the same, like at the same time. Your brain gets slow if you have many things running at the same time. And multitasking is a myth. It's like it doesn't exist. It's just something someone that were really busy and not productive at all came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, do you have a question, man?
Yeah, unless you want me to ask it in our group, but I want to get Robin's thoughts on, and your thought on leveraging AI for
that's a great question.
Yeah, for increasing productivity, performance. I honestly, adamant about it. I you know, yesterday I had a talk with my boss, and he was basically just telling me how leadership, they get, the C-suite, the guys want to, like, use AI and find all these AI tools for me to basically just, they want more McDonald's style, more output. And I'm just telling them, like, well, we got to create that balance between quality and quantity. I mean, I can take on more projects and use AI, but it's not going to be, you're not going to get like real good quality, I feel, I mean, it does take time with AI too, because you got to tweak, until it matches your voice. So it's not like you throw it in there and they spit it out and it's like, oh, you're good to go. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just want to get your thoughts on it. And how I can leverage it without driving myself crazy, I guess. So I don't know. They want more output. That's all I got to say about that. And it's just, it's getting intense. So
yeah, great question, Brad. Yeah. So if you guys have experimented with using AI to write copy, like it's funny because it's actually takes, for most people, it takes just as much time or more to get the right output from AI. Like you got to, it's just a different kind of job that you're doing, right? So it's like it still is hard work using AI. It's just that you're now like a copy chief essentially, where it's like you're prompting this AI and you're trying to get it to write, the kind of copy that you want. But it's not easy, right? And so, I mean, that's something that it takes a lot of practice to actually get really good with AI, right? And so probably in the future, we'll do trainings on this and also get somebody that's like really, really focused on AI to give a training on that. But yeah, AI is really good. Like one thing it's really helpful for is things like generating subject lines. So you can actually take the email and the body copy, and then it can actually generate subject lines for you based on that. So that's something that I'll be talking about like in a future training as well. But so use it for what you can. But as far as like for output and dramatically increasing your output, that's something that just takes a lot of time and practice to get really good at that. It's like it's a skill like anything else, and that's really about like advanced kind of prompting, and it's more complicated. But the thing is, AI doesn't actually make writing easier. It just changes the actual difficulty of what you're doing, right? You're essentially copy chiefing and you're prompting as opposed to just writing. And there's a lot of debate on this, but it's like, it's still going to be much easier to write quality copy if you're writing it yourself. Because it's like, you know what I mean? If you know the principles of copywriting, it's like you can just directly say the things that you want to say. And so for a lot of like skilled copywriters, they prefer to just write their own copy because it's faster for them just to write it as opposed to having to tweak the AI a bunch, right? But there's definitely productive ways that you can do it if you're skilled with prompting it and using it, and you know what I mean. So that's something that but yeah, I would just say, Brad, it's something that it takes practice with AI, and it's it's tough. You know, it's not something that you can just immediately just plug in and immediately start like writing A-level copy with it. You know what I mean? It's something that
Yeah.
it's a different
Yeah.
skill.
I just want to see how you were using it, or like what Robin thought about it in terms of creating, you know, increasing your output, or like increasing, like, I don't know, or helping to save time, or like, like optimizing performance and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. The best use case I found for it is with research. It's with things like generating subject lines based on copy you already have. It's like, even it can help with brainstorming certain things, right? So if you want it to give you different ideas, you just give it some information on what you want it to like brainstorm ideas about. So it's good for that. It's good for research. But as far as writing copy, it's tough to get it to write like really high quality copy, unless it's like a very specific use case. So that's the main thing I'd keep in mind. You know, but yeah.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
I agree with you. Yeah, I'm smart about the subject lines and body, but yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and Adam brought up a great point too. Yeah, to get pieces of your copy with the style that you want. Like, it works best when you actually give it examples of what you want, right? So you give it examples of like, say you give it an email that you know was written really well, or you give it like 20 subject lines. Like, this is the thing that I found most effective. Is you give it a bunch of subject lines that are good, and then you say, okay, based on that, you know, generate more subject lines on this topic, and it will do that for you. So it's good when you can give it, like, it works best when you can give it examples of what to write about.
That's smart. Yeah, smart point. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
So yeah. Awesome, brother. Yeah, we'll dive more into that. And of course, if you want to ask any questions in the group, you can do that as well. But just to move on, because we've got a bit more stuff to cover here. Robin, was there anything else in the mindset part that you want to overcome or wanted to cover? I think I think there's some things related to that.
Yeah, like about this question I just got, or like overall?
Just overall, I think we went over writer's block, we went over sleep, we went over like habits and performance optimization. So just diving quickly into mindset, some of the things, you know, because imposter syndrome is a big thing that copywriters talk with, right? Different things like that, you know, not feeling confident, procrastination, all these different things.
Yeah.
How do you develop that winning mindset as a high performance coach?
Okay, get ready, audience, because shit's about to get real. So grab your pen and
started.
So how do you develop a winning mindset? Well, you do things. That's the answer. so one reason, like feeling like an imposter, is totally normal. I have mentors who are like really successful. Like, we talk running companies in the 100 million, like probably will be valued at billions of dollars in a few months. They still struggle with imposter syndrome. Struggling with imposter syndrome is not a sign that you're an imposter. It's just a sign that you're a human. It's just it's the logical part in your brain that like tries to tell you, oh, I'm not sure if I deserve this. Well, of course you feel like that because you've never seen this amount of success. You've never been here before, so it's scary. And every time something is scary, you will get scary thoughts. What if they found I'm a fraud? Well, if you can deliver copy that like closes sales for hundreds of millions of dollars, well, you're not a fraud. If you can deliver copy that makes me sell more of my coaching, well, you're not a fraud. You're a good investment. Like, feeling like an imposter is normal. Letting feeling like an imposter hold you back from achieving your dreams, that's what pussies do, and we don't do that here. So how to become a winner? You do things no matter how you feel. How to find motivation? Well, you shouldn't aim to find motivation, because motivation is bullshit, and you will always start feeling more motivated after you start doing things. So if you're sitting at home and you're waiting, like, I'm not going to do anything until I feel motivated and I feel like ready, well, you will be waiting for the rest of your life. I'm sorry to break it, but that's the truth. Everything I've achieved in my life, like every single thing, every competition I've won, marrying my wife, everything is like, I haven't felt ready for anything of it. But I know that if I don't shoot, I can't score. And I also know the more I shoot, the more I will score. I happen to be a decent soccer player, by the way. And I've won the scoring title in my league 4 out of the 5 last years. I don't play this year because I've been busy with building my business and getting my wife pregnant and the other fun things. But But I'm actually not really good at soccer either. It's just that I shoot from everywhere. I shoot like, and when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. I probably more goals from like my own half than any other human being. That's because if I even think there's a slight chance to score, I will shoot. If I miss, well, so be it. But eventually I will score. And I apply this in my business. I ask for the sale. I make offers. Oh, it's looking dry on my bank account. What can I do? I can sit here and wait for motivation. I can sit here and feel like a failure because I'm not getting paid what I feel I'm supposed to get paid. Or I can ask for the sale. I can talk to more people, send out more emails, post more content, write more copy, talk to people that are ahead of me, that have done what I do. How did you get there? Well, they closed sales. They talked to people. They grew their network. It's all about doing. I'm like, that's how it is. I just do. That's how I achieve results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, there's a saying like, you miss every shot you don't take, right? So this even comes to the point of like clients, right? And it's like, should I apply for this job? Should I do this? It's like, yes, you should. In every one of these cases, if you're asking like, should I do this? Yes, you should do that, right? Because it's like, there, you know, when there's no downside, right? It's like if you apply to work with a client, if you reach out to somebody, whatever, it's like the worst that can happen is they say no. Like the same applies even in dating, right? It's like the worst that can happen if you ask somebody out that you're interested in is like they say no, and it's like nothing happens. Like there's no downside to that. It's just like, okay, maybe your ego gets a little bit hurt for a little while, but there's no real downside to that. But the upside is you might meet like your life partner and live happily ever after, or like if it's with copywriting, right? You might find that dream client that you always want to work with, that changes your life and changes the entire like, you know, trajectory of your copywriting career, right? And so it's like, you know, you want to, you know, you miss every shot you don't take. So like exactly what Robin's saying there, it's like, just take every shot that you possibly can. That's really like a key thing that you see among high performers and people with this winning mindset is they just take all the different shots that they possibly can. And like, for example, one of the guys in our group, in our mastermind, recently said like he had this idea of this client that he wanted to reach out to. And he says, I don't know, but it was like a big client, I guess. He says, I don't know, do you guys think this is too ambitious? And I was like, bro, like too ambitious? Like did Napoleon think it was too ambitious to cross the Alps? You know what I mean? Like, just like, you have to think like an ambitious person, right? And so it's like, no, it's like nothing is too ambitious. Like just take all the shots you can. And you know what I mean? It's not that there's no guarantee that it'll succeed, but there's no downside if it doesn't. And you only need one great breakthrough to change your life. And so you want to take every shot that you possibly can.
Yeah, and I have some real life stories from this. Like my first ever sales job was cold calling. I worked in Spain. We cold called businesses and sold insurance. No, we cold called private persons. Excuse me. So I was this annoying telemarketer, and I was really shit at sales because it was my first ever sales job. Checks out that I won, what was it, 8 sales competitions in a row. I won a mountain bike, I won a 55-inch TV, I won a promotion, I won a trip to Portugal, I won whatever, cash prizes. And I was shit at sales. And my boss told me, like, I don't know how to say this in a kind way, but I really don't get you. And I was like, yeah, well, what's up? And says like, you're not even good at sales. Like you don't follow even the rules that we have given you. You don't follow like the guidance. You don't follow basically anything. But you cold call like an obsessed person. Like you never stop. Like as soon as we say we're going to compete about this, you just call. Like you just call and you call and you call and you don't care if you get 6,000 no's in a day. You just keep calling until you close someone. And I'm like, yeah, well, what am I supposed to do? Like go home with 0 sales, lose the competition? Ain't gonna happen. Like ain't gonna happen. And when he said to me like, you're not good at sales, but you're still killing it, I was like offended at first. But then what I thought about was like, damn, that's actually a compliment. So I get results even though I'm bad at this, just because I'm persistent and I shoot. And it's the same on the soccer field. I'm telling you, I'm not good at soccer. I'm just not afraid to shoot. so it's I've implemented it in every area of my life. Mm-hmm. And it's given me results in every area of my life. Mm-hmm. It's yeah.
So and Adam asked a great question. Like he says, did working in sales help you improve as a copywriter?
I would say yes and no. Yes, mostly. I'm much better at sales than at writing copy. I have recently like transferred a bit more to copywriting because I'm connected to Bo, I'm connected to other great writers. And but like when I started writing copy, I tried to like because I'm better verbally than written in the written word. So I tried to like write in English, like I speak, but English is my third language, so it's harder for me to write. Like I sell now, when I sell my own services, I sell them almost almost every client I have is American or English. Like, so I promote all my stuff in English, but it's harder for me to write good copy. It's easier for me to sell. So it made me a bit confused in the beginning, because I felt like, why is this shit so hard? Why is it so hard to write good copy? Like, when it's so easy to sell. Like, if you jump on a call on me, I'm going to close you. There's like no question asked. That's how it is. but in the beginning, when I tried to like write sales copy, when I was like, yeah, well, this sounds good. Now this sounds like shit. Like, I can think it, but I can't form it in words. But I was a beginner. I feel like copywriting is a bit different, but I feel also like if you're good at copywriting, you should be good at sales, because copywriting is copywriting is harder. That's my opinion. Of course, it's probably easier for the people that are used to copywriting. It's just what you're used to. But yeah, being good at copywriting helps with sales, and being good at sales will help eventually with copywriting, for sure.
Yeah, the principles are the same, right? So the principles of persuasion are universal. It just depends on, it's just how you actually apply that, right? And so it's just getting used to the actual physical application of that. It's like, okay, you're applying with sales, you're applying the principles of persuasion with spoken speech, right? And with copywriting, it's just you're writing that down, right? But yeah, the principles are the same. So that's why a lot of like John Carlton, like a lot of people have talked about, like a lot of great copywriters have a background in sales, because it definitely does help.
It's often the introverts tend to go the copywriting route, and the extroverts like me go the sales route. Exactly. And I feel like personality is like, I think one reason I sell well is my personality, but it's hard for me to transfer that personality still. Like, I'm practicing on it daily, but it's still much harder for me to get it out in the written form than like this. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's getting better and better, and yeah, it's a fun ride.
For sure. Yeah, it's so important just to, for copywriters also, because copywriters tend to be really good at copywriting, but sales skills is a big thing that you can improve as a copywriter, right? Because a lot of copywriters, you already know the principles of persuasion, and it's just a matter of practicing that in actual like one-to-one interactions, right? And so you have a lot of cases where it's like copywriters are, as Robin has talked about, I know you've talked about this, Robin, where copywriters are really good at selling like in media and like with written words, but they find it difficult to actually, reach out to clients, to follow up, to actually, jump on sales calls, and all this different stuff. And so, so that'll be the actual next section that we jump into. But yeah, I think for all you guys, one of the highest ROI things that you can work on, one of the highest ROI skills that you can develop is your sales skills. Because if you get really good at sales, that allows you to get clients and actually, close them and like follow up with them and all that stuff. So that's why it's important to learn sales skills as a copywriter as well. Yeah.
Like if you master both, or like if you're good at both, better than average on both, there is no limit to how much money you can earn and what things you can accomplish. Like, if you can sell written and verbally, well, like you can make a whole lot of money just from being good at one of them. You can make basically all the money that exists if you're good at both of them. So yeah, I would suggest to practice on both. For sure.
Yeah, that's best. And yeah, Sana said in the in the comment, like, copywriting is great for introverts who struggle with spoken sales, right? And physical sales. I mean, you can definitely just do copywriting, and you can have a brand where it's like you don't actually interact with people, but it will, for most copywriters, it will give you an advantage. For example, when you're trying to close clients, right? You need to do things like reach out to them one-on-one, right? You need to jump on calls with them, right? And so having just some basic sales skills, it doesn't mean you have to like, become a master salesperson and get a job with sales and like do all these like sales trainings, but just having some basic sales skills will help you land more clients, at least.
Yes. And that's my like main concern. My main concern when it comes to copywriters is like, when a copywriter jumps on a call with me, they tell me like, I'm not landing enough clients, and I'm like, well, how many clients have you talked to? Well, I'm afraid talking to clients. I'm like, yeah, well, if you ever want to land them, you have to at least ask. It's like, they're not going to come find you, as same as the motivation ain't coming to find you. The motivation arrives when you're out running, when you're on mile 10 and you feel runner's high for the first time in your life, and you're like, holy shit, I could run to the moon. Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that would never have happened if you sat at home in the sofa. It's the same with clients.
Yes.
Clients might come to you when you're really, 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 really good at your craft, and like people refer other people to you. But in the beginning, you have to ask for the same. Like if they tell you no, you are not worse off than you are now. Then you like, because when they tell you no, you have something you can improve on. Maybe it was your offer, maybe it was the way you asked, maybe it was like your approach. You asked for the sale too quickly, too late, they hired someone else. But when you don't do anything, you can't improve anything. Getting a no is better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah, than hearing crickets, right? Better to get a
Yeah.
no than to hear crickets and you know not hear anything. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? And it's like, you know, Brad brought up a great point, right? Copywriters are afraid of reaching out to clients because they're afraid of rejection or not having the skills to deliver. And it's like, so imposter syndrome is a very, very big thing that copywriters struggle with. And that's, you know, that's why it's like, you know, there's a great book that Rob and I both love. We both recommend on this. You want to mention the name, Robin?
You thinking about Relentless?
Tim Grover. Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
It's Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's mental coach should know a thing or two about the mental aspect of the game. So I recommend. If nothing else, when you read that book, you will at least understand how I think, and you maybe think that I'm a little bit less batshit crazy, because I actually thought that I was batshit crazy until I read that book as well. Then I found out, oh, there's other people out there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, you know. And it's like, so, you know, if you feel that, whatever you feel, that imposter syndrome, you feel afraid of rejection, whatever, it's like, just give yourself permission to just go out there and just get those no's. Like there's no downside to getting those no's, but it only takes one good client to change your life, right? And so that's the thing. It takes one outreach, right, can completely change your life. And so you never want to let that fear or like that imposter syndrome, whatever the case may be, get in your way. And the other thing, one more thing related to imposter syndrome is that, you know, there's a saying that like entrepreneurs are people who like jump off a cliff and build an airplane on the way down, right? Like that's kind of the process of being an entrepreneur, is like you figure things out along the way. And so it's like, of course you're not gonna be like you're never gonna be a senior expert copywriter if you've never like reached out to clients and worked with clients to get to that level, right? Like you don't become an A-list copywriter without like talking to clients and working with them and actually getting that real world practice. And so it's actually the process of reaching out and like getting experience that makes you an expert. And so if you ever feel like, oh, I'm not qualified enough for this position, you know, I don't know if I should apply. It's like, no, you should apply and just like shoot all the shots that you can, just like Robin said. And it's like, because you grow into the role. Like that's what happens with every new kind of opportunity that comes your way. Like even like first-time parents always say this, like you're never fully prepared to be a parent, but then like once you are, it's like, okay, you grow into it and you become a parent. You know you learn how to do it, right? And it's the same with everything.
Yeah. Now I have two things to add to that. Goes hand in hand with what you just said. Like I have this. It's not my quote. I can't remember where I found it, but it's a good quote. It's done is better than perfect because done actually exists and perfect doesn't. And that's the story of my life, because people that know me know that I love to compete. I've said it now 100 times during this call, so you probably know it by now. Like I really love winning. There is something in me that starts like every cell in my body when it's competition time. I can't really explain it, but that's how I work. That's why I win a lot. Well, guess what? I've lost probably 60,000 more times than I've won. People see me as a winner from the outside. Oh, he wins all the competition. He never fails. Do you know why I win so many competitions, or like why I do so many things? Because I fail at so many. Like you only see the spotlight. Oh, he won a trip to Thailand. Oh, he landed a new client. Oh, another new client. Oh, he now he writes copy like he would be a copywriter. Yeah, it's like I just do a lot of shit until I get decent at it. And like then when I'm decent at it and like I feel the blood in the water, I do everything I can to get better at it, because I'm obsessed with improving. And if you want to win, you have to learn how to lose. I hate losing with my entire heart, but I know it's necessary to ever be able to win. It's the only way to become a winner is by losing enough battles, like on the way there. That's how you win.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, you know, a lot of the things that we talk about, guys, by the way, you know, Rob and I always bring this up, is that these are the basics, right? So it's like, it always comes back to focusing on the basics. And so if you think that it's like, there's like super advanced ninja tactics that you've never heard before, that are like super secret, it's like, that's not actually the things that change your life, right? It's always the things that are just the basic principles that work, right? And so even when it came to sleep, like those are just the basic principles of sleep that are guaranteed to improve your sleep and optimize your performance, right? And when we're talking about, productivity, it's like, it's always basics with that, right? It's like, okay, how about not being on your phone, like while you're working and having notifications going off as you're working, right? Like it's like a basic kind of thing, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's all about the basics. And so really just, if you've heard a lot of these things that we talk about, but like, it's really a matter of just like embracing the basics, and like, it always helps to be reminded of them, and then just to focus on implementing them, because that's actually what's going to get you the results in your life.
Yeah. Everything I do with my coaching is built around the basics. I don't know like the fancy, glancy, whatever fancy stuff someone sells in a course yesterday and tomorrow changes the topic. I don't know that shit. Like, I know the basics, and I do the basics, and I try to become better at the basics, because I've seen every time I level up in life, it's because I've been becoming better at the basics. And want to know who else was really good at the basics? Kobe Bryant. So, and everybody that's ever been a peak performer in any field. Kobe used to train 30 minutes without a ball, just doing foot drills before he started the regular training. When he started regular training with a ball, he did chest passes for another 30 minutes. So the first hour of his exercise was the most basic drills you can do. The same drills the 7-year-olds do when they play basketball. And it was a journalist. I was actually another performance coach that were new to the basket game, and he watched Kobe train, and he asked him like, "Oh, I'm really surprised to see you train like that. Like, you're the best player in the world, and you're just focusing on the basics." And Kobe just looked at him and said, like, how the hell do you think I became the best player in the world? So if Kobe Bryant focused on the basics, maybe we that are 6,000 levels under Kobe could benefit from doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Might be something there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said, Robin. Yeah. So one of the things that we haven't covered related to that, like also basics, is follow-up, right? So we talked about, with clients, you want to reach out to as many clients as possible and take every shot that you can. Also, the biggest mistake most copywriters make, that you could close way more clients if you just did this, is to simply follow up more, right? And to just get better at follow-up. This is such a huge thing. And Robin is one of the best people I've seen when it comes to follow-up. Like, he's just a master at it. And he's like a dog with a bone. Like, you don't stop, but you do it in a way that's not annoying, and that's not like pushy. And so that there's really an art to that, right? Like, that's the mark of a great salesperson, is to be able to sell gracefully without like the other person feeling like pushed, and without like breaking rapport or hurting the relationship. And so Robin is excellent at this. And Robin, do you have anything you want to mention about like follow-up? Any tips on that?
Yeah, I have a few things. So what I said previously was like I follow up until people buy, but that doesn't mean like I call them buy my shit. Well, why ain't you buying? Like, I'm not doing it in an annoying way. Like, I'm not forcing them to buy. I'm just like, if you tell me you're interested in my services and like you could benefit from my coaching, you tell me that, and I tell you, yeah, I could help you. I'm doing you a disservice by not following up. It's like, I'm not caring enough about you or my own career by not following up with you. But I don't follow up like, buy my shit. I follow up with, hey, how are you? Have you been able to sort this yet? I send a selfie of myself, writes, lovely Monday morning, like, what's going on? And the people know it's a follow up, but it's not buy my shit with caps lock. It's in a natural, like, human way. And I have different approaches I use. I follow up via email, I follow up via DMs, I follow up on people's posts, I follow up, in different ways. So I call people, but I try to mix between those things. And following up when you have a great service is like, it's basically your duty. And I know most people won't buy like from the first interaction. That's a fact. So if you're looking to land a gig and you send out an email and they don't answer, that doesn't mean you didn't get the gig. What it actually means is they probably didn't even read the email, because they get so many damn emails. The second you send a second email and follow up, you are separating yourself from the pack. because most people won't send a second email. Most people won't send a second DM. And don't send those question marks that some guru teaches people to do in DMs. Like, send me a pitch, I don't answer, they send a question mark. That's not the way to follow up. Then you're annoying.
Yeah.
Then you're an annoying guy. Yeah, you don't want to be annoying, but you want to show that you care enough that you will follow up. If they tell you to fuck off, well, don't follow up again. Just delete them from the list and move on with your life. If they tell you no, okay, good. Then you can delete them from the list or put later. Like, they didn't sign up now, but they might sign up later. And if they tell you yes, well, great. Now you have a new client. Well, look at that. You closed him or her on the 7th interaction. Would never have happened if you didn't follow up. Most of my sales, by the way, comes from follow-up. The big majority, about 75% of my sales come from follow-up. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's huge, Robin. Yeah, the majority of sales happen on follow-up, because they even say in sales, like the vast majority of prospects are not ready to buy right now, right? But that doesn't mean that's not going to be the case in 3 months, 6 months. Like, things change, right, in people's situation. And so it's like, yeah, you want to follow up like in the short term, but also you want to follow up, keep them like, in the loop over time, right? And so it's like you can follow up even months later, and that might be a better time for them. But yeah, follow up is really it's really a key thing. And Robin's really good at that. Like, he does a variety of different things, as he mentioned, right? Like, you can post a GIF, right? You can even, like, Robin has this trick that he likes to do where he has like I think it's a selfie of yourself, right, Robin, where you're like, and then you write on like, hey, hey, name, just following up. Like, that's a really good one as well, right? But there's a lot of things that you can do as well, and it just
the selfie takes 2 seconds, like taking the selfie and writing the friendly follow-up, Clyde, whatever. Hey, Clyde, friendly follow-up with on a text, on a selfie with myself, takes maybe 10 seconds to make. That's 10 seconds more effort that nobody else is putting in. It's like, I don't even remember how many sales I closed from that follow-up. And it's like, it's not I'm sending them a private jet. It's nothing like that. It's like 10 seconds out of my day to follow up with a person that is interested in my services. It's like, come on. If you're not ready to invest 10 seconds and be like a little amount creative with how you follow up, well, you don't deserve the sale.
I mean, if you can follow up by sending them a private jet, that might be an effective way to get their attention, but it might not be realistic for most. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. That's a huge point. And yeah, so very well said, Robin. I think you nailed that, brother. And yeah, so definitely follow up more, guys. It's a huge thing. And just one thing to keep in mind also, like I think it was Fred that mentioned in the chat, people don't even get your email a lot of the time, right? So if you message somebody once, like, there's a good chance they didn't even see it. And so you guys have seen, like, how many emails did I send reminding you about this training? Like, a bunch, right? Like, I sent a bunch of emails reminding to the people that signed up, because it's like, I know that if I just send, oh, here's one email and here's the meeting link and okay, you can join, like, there's a large chance that you're not going to see it. So you have to, like, regularly remind people, right? Because you can't expect that that everybody's going to see your actual message the first time that you send it. So
yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. So that pretty much, I think, concludes the sales part of it, Robin. And I think we covered most of the things. Is there anything on that you wanted to add that we missed?
Yeah, well, the easiest way to make more money is to asking for more sales, and the easiest way to close more sales is by asking for the sale more than once. So yeah. If you want to book more calls, put the link in your emails. If you want to land a gig, well, send out more emails to more different gig givers, potential people that can hire you. Post more content. Just like ask for the sale. Make some noise. It's like that's actually a thing I learned from my journey, like my career in sports. I used to be really shy on the field. I didn't have a lot of noise, and the coaches told me, like, you have to yell when you're free. I was like one season was like, okay, this season I'm going to make so much noise on the field. Suddenly I started getting the ball all the time. Like, one guy even told me, yeah, well, I had to pass even though I had a good shooting opportunity because you yelled so loudly that I got scared. So I just passed the ball to you so you can score instead. I was like, yeah, well, this works. I'm going to continue with this. It's like, it's the same in the marketplace. I don't mean that you should call people and yell at them like, buy shit, but you get that. Make some noise. People don't even know that you exist. Like, you're sitting at home and being angry because they didn't answer to your email. They don't know you're existing. It's not personal. They haven't read your email. Send a new one. Send another one. Send a DM to their Instagram's company page. Tell them in the DM, I sent an email earlier. I just wanted to check in if you had a chance to read through it. They maybe haven't read through it. Or if they have, you remind them, oh, this guy, look at him, he's persistent. I would like this guy on my team. Everybody wants a go-getter. So go get it.
Yeah, you had a really great line. Jen was asking again about that line. It was, if you want to make more money, sell more, was it? And if you want to make even more money, follow up more?
So yeah, well, if you want to make more money, you have to ask for the sale more.
You have to ask for the sale more.
Yeah, but you can't stop at asking for the sale. You should follow up more. You should ask for the sale again.
Can I ask a question real quick? Yes, okay.
Real quick, Brad. Yeah, what do you got? Then we'll move on to the next section.
No, it's all right. No, it's okay. No, it's all right.
You wanna drop that in the? You can drop it in the chat, or you can drop it in the group if you like.
Sounds good.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Yeah, just because we're a bit short on time. But yeah, definitely drop in the chat, drop it in the group, and we'll answer you, brother.
Yeah,
Robin,
so
go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was just gonna say, so we covered a lot of things, guys, by the way. So yeah, there was sleep, there was habits, there was morning routines, there was performance optimization, best practices related to just being more productive, right? And now mindset, right? So a lot of things we covered related to overcoming imposter syndrome and taking every shot. Jen says this training was a buffet. So there was a lot of stuff that we covered, and lots of good stuff. Was there anything that we didn't cover, Robin, that you wanted to add?
I'll add a couple of things first. I see there is coming a lot of questions about the follow-up, like how do I know when I'm annoying, and how do I know when to stop, and how do I know like when to don't follow up anymore, which is a great question. It kind of depends on the platform. Like on email, like if I send a cold email to someone I've never spoken to, they don't know I exist, I send about 3 emails, like 1 email and 2 to 3 follow-up emails. If they don't respond to any of them, I might give them a call or send them a DM on like their company page. If they never reply, I just stop. But if it's like if a company answers like, yeah, we're interested in your services, but not right now. Well, that not right now means I will follow up until they think the time is right. And that doesn't mean I will follow up every day, but that means I'll follow up like maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe in 3 months, maybe in 9 months. I've landed sales from like conversations I started years earlier, just because I kept showing up. And they're like, so some people tell me this guy never gives up. And like, yeah, well, you see how persistent I am by you hiring me. Guess what I could do for your team? Imagine when I teach your sales team this on a speaking gig. Like, you should fly me in so I can come speak. Yeah, well, of course they do it. It's like, this guy knows a thing or two, and it's their company benefits from my persistence, if that makes sense. So it's a great question. I would say between 3 and 5 follow-ups if they never answer. If they answer that they're interested, but not right now, I don't really think there is any amount to like how many times you can follow up. Just do it in a proper way. And if they tell you to stop calling us, like this is harassment, well, you should stop. but if they're leaving like the door open, well, keep walking in until they buy your stuff.
Yeah, well said. And Bilal made a really good point. So I think that's a great final part. And there's also the final bullet point to conclude on related to the sales training, which is also just positioning, guys, and content. So these are very big things as well, right? So one form of follow-up, guys, is just like when you post content, like this is why everybody, I believe, like every copywriter and every person that wants to make money, you should be posting your own content, right? You should be writing your own content, your own emails. You should have your own email list. You should be posting on social media, because it's like by you coming up with content, that is follow-up. It's like it's indirect follow-up, right? It's like you're staying top of mind with people, right? And so it's like, it might be a bit too much to follow up with a prospect every single day directly and be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? And like, every single day following up directly with them, but you can post a piece of content every single day and they're going to be seeing you every single day, right? And so that's kind of indirect follow-up when you're creating content. And that's why it's important to also do content marketing, because it's like, it puts your sales on steroids essentially, because every person is going to check out your profile and they're going to look you up and they're going to see like, okay, does this person know their stuff? And so by having content, it's the ultimate sales asset. And it also like passively follows up with people like, that are in your circle. And so it's really a really important point to also be, posting your own content, because that really shows your expertise, and it's like automated follow-up essentially. So that's another important thing.
For sure. And also, you might be aware of this already, but I'll say it anyway. Maybe not most, but a lot of my clients have come from people I've never talked to, like inbound clients. They just see my content over and over and over again, and they sign up. And and then they can tell me like on the first coaching call, well, I've seen your content about sleep for 18 months now, and now I felt like, well, I really need to handle it. I didn't know the person existed even, but I've posted content, as I said, over a year, every day, twice a day. And I mean every day, not 5 days out of the week, every day. So it's keep posting the content, because the more you write, the better you become at writing. The more you post, the better you get at posting. The more you sell, the more times you ask for the sale, the better you get at selling. The more confident you get in asking for the sale. It's you just have to practice. Don't give up just because somebody tells you no or somebody doesn't reply. Just keep going. Shoot more shots.
Yeah. Well said, Robin. Yeah, you're really good at that consistency. So you're like your other nickname is the king of consistency, right? Because you've been posting content daily for a super long time, right? And the results speak for themselves. And so, definitely. And by the way, as you guys see how this is all ties in together, right? It's like you improve your sleep, you improve your performance, you overcome imposter syndrome, you overcome writer's block. Like it all ties in together. And that's why this was, how to become a high performance copywriter, right? And that's why we included this this buffet, as Jen called it, right? Of all these different things, right? So yeah, and Jen, I love what you said there as well, right? Like the perfect example of content marketing. So you came from Instagram and then email lists and now Facebook. So yeah, over 5 months, right? So that's a perfect example, Jen, right? It's like, you want to be posting content because that shows people, like who you are, and it builds trust, and you build that relationship with people. And it's, it's much more, it just makes it much more like everything you do, it's an accelerant to everything you do. So that's why it's important to also be posting content as you're looking for clients, and as you're building you want to build your brand in addition to sales, because a brand really helps that.
Yeah, but you can, speaking about that, like posting, being consistent, and your brand, you can tell the story how we met, by the way, on Facebook, because it's
yeah
goes into this.
Yeah. So that was a great story. So this is the perfect example. So the way that Robin and I met, you guys, is I had made a post about sleep, like something that I had done, like, and how important it is to optimize your sleep and the life-changing benefits that I've experienced from it. And I had like 2 or 3 people tag Robin in my post and say, oh, by the way, you talked about sleep. Robin is the go-to person for sleep. He's the sleep optimization expert, right? And that was how we connected. And then we got in touch, and like, we hit it off. And yeah, that was a long time ago, and now we're here. But it's like, that's the power of so this is like the last part about sales I want to tell you guys about, which is positioning, right? So you really want to position yourself in a way that that you are the go-to person that people think of whenever the thing that you do is brought up, right? So Robin did a great job at this on Facebook. Like he's positioned himself as the go-to sleep optimization expert, right? Like you're a high performance coach, but people really remember you for sleep, right? Because it's impossible for anybody to even say the word sleep on Facebook without you getting tagged. So
it is actually. And your post, what you weren't like asking for sleep optimization tips or anything. You weren't looking for someone to help you with your sleep. You just mentioned that you improved your sleep by yourself, and
right.
Had 3 people that were connected to both of us tagged me. I'm like, oh, Robin, you would love to check out this. Yeah, if you want to learn more about sleep, talk to Robin. I was like, yeah, well, this guy seems smart because he's optimizing his own sleep. We should probably connect. And it's on Facebook, I market myself as the sleep guy, even though mindset and like building a relentless mindset is as much as what I do. But it's much easier for me to stand out from the crowd by talking about sleep, because there are a lot of performance coaches. I don't even think I know another performance coach that focuses like on sleep in his marketing as much as I do. So of course I stand out from the crowd. It's I get people in by talking about sleep, and then on a sales call I talk about what I've talked about today, all the things I do, And some people hire me only for sleep optimization. Most people hire me for the big picture, like sleep, mindset, productivity, everything.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, that's I think that's a great point to wrap up the sales thing. And I think there was just one other thing that you wanted to end it on as well by having the power list. You wanted to share the power list, like how to actually implement all this stuff, you guys, for productivity, how you can, we talked about all these different things you could do, and following up with the clients, and writing copy, all this different stuff. But how do you actually turn that into a productivity system that you can just follow? And Robin follows this productivity system that you shared in the mastermind. That's been super helpful. And it's what you use to be a high performer and get all the stuff done that you do. And it's very simple, but it's very effective, you guys. So do you want to share anything about that, Robin?
Yes, for sure. So this is like basically my entire secret, except like shooting more shots. This is my entire secret. So welcome. You now get access to I don't know how much it's worth, but a lot. This is not even something I've come up with, by the way. This is something I've learned from the same mentor I talked about earlier. He's built multiple $1 million businesses, and he uses this approach to get shit done every day. So if it works for him, I thought, well, it probably works for me, which it have. So the power list is, you take your notebook every day and you write down 5 needle moving tasks. And I'll explain what needle moving task is. Needle moving task is not scrolling TikTok, watching 62 different YouTube videos about different topics, or like throwing candy at the neighbor's kids. Needle moving task is something that moves you forward in the areas you want to move forward, basically. So I'll explain what my power list looks like. On my power list, I have things that moves my business forward, which usually includes writing email, like promoting my stuff and like writing valuable emails to my email list, posting content on my social media, reaching out to people. That's like things that moves the needle forward in business. If I only focus on writing emails, posting content, and talking to people, my business will grow eventually, even if I didn't do anything else. I also have things on my power list that moves me forward mentally. That is like listening to a good podcast, listening to an audiobook, reading, things like that. And I have things that move me forward physically. That means I exercise of some sort. If that's a run, if that's lifting weight, doesn't really matter. Something that makes me better in that area as well. And then I have something that moves my marriage forward. Because if my marriage is shit, and like if I'm a high performer in every other area, but my marriage is bad, well, I'm not a high performer. I'm an imposter. So I don't want to.
You remember what we talked about at the beginning of the call, you guys, with if you want to have the worst morning possible, you'd get in an argument with your wife. So that's the reason why Robin has that as part of his power list, to not have the worst morning ever. Yeah, no, this is like, honestly, that this might sound a bit critical, but I don't think that people that have like built a successful business but have a terrible relationship with their loved one is successful. Not in my book. People that are successful, according to me, is people who are successful in all areas. Of course, they are probably more successful in some area. They are better at business than they are at, I don't know, fixing their car. They are better at business than they are at deadlifting. Yeah, but they still do deadlifts, or they still try to fix the car, or they try to get better. And they try, like they put in effort in every area. That's the key, because if you put in effort in every area, you will get better in every area. So that's what my power list looks like, because when I do this, it's like it completes my life, if that makes sense. It takes me forward in all the areas I care about. It takes me forward in my business, in the marketplace, physically, mentally, and relationship-wise. So 5 tasks every day. You can choose the task, but it should be something that moves you forward. You try to complete all these things, of course, and it shouldn't be more than 5 things, because if it's more than 5 things, you won't be able to do it over and over and over again. So what most people do wrong with that to-do list is they put like 27 things on a Monday morning, 1st of January, and they try to accomplish them all, which is impossible. And then they feel bad because they didn't accomplish it. And they just quit even trying, because, yeah, I tried this to do this once, but I failed. So 5 things, maximum. You can even put 3 if you want. Maximum 5 things. When you've done all the 5 things, you check them off. Like everything you do, you check off. Put a check mark. When you've done all the 5 things, you put a W, as in win, because humans are wired to win. And if you don't believe that, give a small kid
that doesn't know anything about winning. Give it a soccer ball or a basketball and tell it to throw in the cage. Like, tell it to score. When it scores, it will celebrate. Nobody has told it that it should celebrate. It's human nature. Humans are wired to win. It's just that society beats it out of us before we're adults. Because the world would be, it would be dangerous for people in power if everybody went after their natural winning drive. If everybody on Earth was as persistent as me, the world would, maybe be batshit crazy, but we would accomplish a lot of things at least.
It would be a high performance. Everybody would be high performance.
High performing, maybe a bit annoying, but at least high performing. So when you've done all the 5 things, you win the day. When you win the day, you will feel good. Even if you finish the day by noon, you have already won the day by noon. What usually happens is you want to do more things. So you do more things than the 5, and that's okay. But some days your wife wants to go shopping and it's noon and you have won the day and you close the client because you reach out to people, and you close the day yesterday because you reach out to people. Well, then you take your wife shopping because you already won the day. So it doesn't matter. And plus it says on your power list, take care of your wife. If your wife wants to shop and that makes your marriage better, well, take her shopping. So the power list gives you more freedom. When you win the day, it also it helps you start a streak. And like, if you win 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 6 weeks, you want to keep the streak going. And I as well fall off track. Like, I don't win every day, but in the last year I've won. I've won every day last year, but in the last 2 years I've fell off track. And it's not like, you shouldn't be ashamed when you fall off track. It's just you get back on track the next day. Falling off track is natural. You're a human. There is no such thing as perfection. If you fall off track with your training, with your diet, with your wife, whatever you do, just get on track, get back on the horse the next day, and you keep building the streak. And when you've done this for some time, you will start experiencing tremendous momentum. And you will be like, where is all this good stuff coming from? People call me, want to work with me. My wife loves me more than any time before. Like, my abs is popping, whatever. You will see momentum. And you will be like, what did I do? Well, you just backtrack in your power list and you look, out of the last 108 days, I've won 150. Of course I'm winning. I'm winning 5 out of 7 days every week, for example. That means you're winning the week still. As long as you win more days during the week and the month than you're losing, you're still winning. You're making progress. You're moving in the right direction. That's my entire power list. I know that was a lot to unpack, but there you go.
Yeah, well said, Robin. Yeah, and I think it's actually probably easiest just to show people, because you had posted this. You had posted this in the mastermind about the power list, and you had included a screenshot of your power list. You mind if I show that just so people can get an idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just show you guys. So this was a post that Robin had shared here in our mastermind. And he said, he talked about the power list, right? And so, it's just 3 to 5 needle moving tasks every day. And your main focus for the entire day should just be to complete these tasks, right? So no more than 5 tasks, because you won't be able to complete them. So don't make this a big, long list, because then you're just not prioritizing enough, right? So 3 to 5 max. And the goal is just to build the streak. And like, your one goal every day is just to make sure you check off these items on your power list, right? So this was the image that he shared, right? So just like this, right? So like simple 5 things, and it's just a simple kind of to-do list. Like it's more powerful than a to-do list, I think, because it's prioritized, right? And it's simple and it's effective. So definitely try this out. 3 to 5 things max, and just make that your sole focus for the day is to that's your goal, is to get all the things crossed off. And then once you've done that, if you want to do more things, great. But if not, you already won the day.
Yeah. And
is that right, Robin?
That's right. And like, I know this sounds so simple that it can't work, but what happens, this list is created for giving you confidence in yourself. Because when you can see, I won this many days, even if you don't feel like you're doing progress, you will feel better about yourself, because you're doing what you're saying in the morning that you're going to do. And this builds tremendous confidence in yourself. And when you have more confidence in yourself, you will do greater things. That's a fact. You will always perform better when you feel better than when you feel shit. That's a fact. And that's as I said, this is my entire secret. When people ask me, how can you be so consistent? This is why, because I do this. And as I said, I love to compete. I love to compete against myself. I love to compete against other people. But like, I have a streak here going on with wins. I don't want to break. Like, I don't want to break the streak just because it's raining outside and I don't feel like doing cardio. Like, imagine losing a streak that is hundreds of days long just because I don't want to send out an email to my list. Oh, I can't come up with ideas. Well, I don't give a shit. I'll write, buy my stuff, send out the email, done. Yeah, it's
new email for you guys, new email idea, buy my stuff, send out.
It's keeping the streak alive. And yeah, that's why I'm so energized. That's why I'm so confident in my abilities, because I do what I say I'm about to do. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well said, Robin. Man, that was powerful. So you guys, that's just a way for you guys, a practical way for you guys to implement some of the different things we talked about. Lots of stuff that we covered, obviously. And yeah, obviously it was a buffet, as Jen said, of information here, but I hope you guys got a lot of valuable takeaways and tips to overall improve your performance as a copywriter and just crush it in life. So yeah. Thank you guys. And I guess just the last thing before we sign off is just if you want to actually learn more. Robin, what is the best way, if somebody wants to learn more, the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can send me an email at robin@robinwesterlund.com, or you can just send me a DM on Facebook, or you can answer to one of my emails that I send out 6 days per week. It's doesn't really matter how you reach out. I will take care of you anyway. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. You can also send me a DM here that I should reach out to you, and I'll reach out to you right away after this call, because it's always a good day to make a sale. So yeah, if you feel ready to kick ass right away, well, I'm here to help you. Yeah. What about you, Bo?
Yeah, definitely. And you guys also make sure to connect with Robin on Facebook if you haven't already. He obviously has a ton of awesome stuff that he shares, and he posts content like crazy. So you guys, if you want to see the relentless consistency in action, he's really good at that. So definitely check him out on Facebook and connect with him there. And yeah, he's your man for performance optimization and mindset and habits and all that. And yeah, anything else that I left out there, Robin, about you?
Not really. I appreciate the kind words. I will add I'm not sure, it might be that everyone here is already subscribed to my list, because I've got a ton of new subscribers in the last 2 days. So thank you for that. But if somebody missed out and don't want to miss out anymore, you can subscribe to my email list by this link I just sent in the chat. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I also sent that link. You guys will see in the emails as well. But if you're not subscribed yet, definitely subscribe to Robin's list, because he posts a lot of value there as well. So all things related to high performance. Yes, and people from Fred's audience or CQ's audience or my audience that ain't subscribed to Bo's list should subscribe immediately, because Bo, like, he's one of the very few guys email I look forward to getting. It's you want to read it, because there's always some good stuff in there. So yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I think you guys will receive my emails if you haven't been on my list already, since you signed up for the training. But yeah, for sure. And you guys also, for you guys that are copywriters in here, if there's anybody that also wants to, do more of these kind of calls with us, this is something that we actually do every week. We mentioned a few times during the training that there's that we're in a mastermind together, and so if this is something that you guys enjoyed and you want to join more trainings like this and ongoing kind of calls, we do have a program for that. If you want to learn more, it's called the Email List Owners Mastermind. I know we've mentioned it several times, and we have several members here. So Robin's in it, of course. We have Ewan, we have Peyton, we have Bobby, and yeah. So all these guys, they're the VIPs in the mastermind, and yeah, we jump on calls like this every week, and we share all kinds of valuable stuff like this in our calls. So if you guys found value from this and you guys enjoyed,
you know, glad to give you more information about the mastermind. So yeah, is that something you guys would like to get the details about and learn more about?
Go,
Awesome.
go, make an
Awesome,
offer.
awesome,
Go. I want to
awesome.
hear. I want to
So
sign
I'll
up.
just show you guys, for you guys that want to learn more about this. So I'll just give you the quick 80-20 details, but it's basically every single week. It's called the Email List Owners Mastermind. And it's basically for copywriters and coaches that want to build and monetize their own email list or their clients' lists, right? And it's about writing brand building emails, the kind of emails you're used to seeing from me, using organic lead gen strategies to land clients and build an engaged list, and crafting irresistible high ticket offers. Basically, the goal is to be able to monetize your list, right? So you can do that really well with high ticket offers, and you can even do it for your clients. So that's really the power of high ticket. And so these are like the core pillars that we talk about. But basically, you know, we share all kinds of things, right? And so everybody's aligned towards the same goal, though, of writing world-class emails, creating irresistible offers, and building an engaged email list. And yeah, you know, we're all about, like, you know, doing work we love, making good money, and enjoying freedom, right? That's why we're a part of this. And yeah, so it's really about collaboration and just taking action with a tight-knit group of like-minded people just like you. So that's the 80-20, the summary of the group. We have a course library that you get access to when you join. So you get you get a bunch of modules of different trainings that we've done. So you get the actual email list owner model, where we dive deeper into all these things we talked about high ticket offers and brand building emails, et cetera, et cetera. The infinite email writing system. So this is how to overcome writer's block and generate unlimited ideas and build that prolific writing habit. We go over mindset. So other things similar to what we talked about here. We have a training that's dedicated for that. Branding and marketing strategy. So all things related to USP and positioning, persuasive storytelling, right? So kind of how to write the emails that you read from your favorite email copywriters, right? That are way better than just something that's written by AI, for example, right? Like how to stand out with your emails. And, you know, list building with social media, omnipresence, right? So how to become omnipresent on different social media platforms and multiply your reach, and high ticket offer creation, right? So those are the core modules that we talk about. And of course, we have a training schedule. So as I mentioned, every single week, we have, you know, 52 group coaching calls throughout the year that we get on. And, you know, these are workshops, these are collaboration sessions, these are guest trainings, like Robin did today, and different bonus trainings, right? On things that aren't included in the main thing. You also get access to the community. So you get a year of access to the school community for email list owners, where basically you can get feedback on anything that you're working on. So your emails, your strategy, your offer. You can get ongoing help from me and the other members. You can do collaborations with people and promote each other's lists and do all kinds of things, you know, to collaborate with others. You can ask questions, you can network, and you can find even accountability partners, even make business partners here, right? So it's just a powerful, tight-knit community, and that's really the value of the group, you know, the core thing. And you know, and occasionally I may even give you a shout out to my own list. You know, if there's something that you have that my audience will benefit from. Obviously, you know, Robin had this awesome training that you guys saw, and you know, you guys mentioned you enjoyed it, and so you know, you could definitely do this kind of thing in the future as well. If you have something that's you know, that my audience will find valuable, you know, definitely I'll give you a shout out as well. You know, so that's basically what we do. It's, you know, it's about collaboration and community, and that's really what's so powerful about it. That's what makes it different from just a normal coaching program or like a course, is that we have this awesome group of people, just like Robin and the other guys here that you guys met. Do you have something you wanted to say there, Robin?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that it's not only about the value in the group, it's also the most funny call during the entire week. Like it's you know, we laugh a lot. We probably spend 20% of the time laughing, just cracking jokes and having a good time, and then the rest of the time we actually get shit done and yeah, get better, smarter, better at writing, grow our biceps, and yeah, I don't know what we do. Yeah,
exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like the humor in the group is just next level. Like you guys are they're just so much fun people in the group. And I know like Peyton and Bobby are always like cracking jokes, and man, you guys are hilarious. It's so much fun just hearing you guys you know, make jokes and chime in on things. So that's exactly what Robin said. It's like, it's the most fun calls, honestly, that I've ever been a part of. And you know, the guys here are just awesome to be with. So if you want to connect with us regularly, ongoing, and get just ongoing help and have regular calls with us, this is definitely the place for you. So if you guys are interested in that, you can apply to join, and I can, give you all the information, and we can discuss. The idea is there is an application for this because I want to make sure that everybody that joins is a good fit, and that's, is going to get value from the group, and just be be a good fit for it. So basically, there's 2 minutes to take to fill out a type 1 application that I can send you. And after you fill out the application, you'll be able to schedule a quick 15-minute coffee chat with me. Just learn more about the program and go over the remaining details. So, this isn't one of these like high pressure sales calls or anything where it's like you're being sold. It's basically just to give you all the details about the program, and then answer any questions you have, and then you freely decide if you want to move forward or not. There's no obligation or no strings attached. So, yeah, if that's something you guys would be interested in learning more about, definitely fill out the application, and we can jump on a chat, and I'll just give you all the details and answer any questions you have about that. I'll go ahead and drop the link here in the chat for the application, just so you guys can get a better idea, and we can actually touch base over a call. So it is, of course, an investment. It's not cheap necessarily, but it's well worth it for what you get for the entire year. Like-minded people just like us, and it is at the lowest price it will ever be. So basically it's in the early beta stage still, and so it's at a massive discount from what it will be, and we even have like affordable payment plans to make it even more affordable for your budget. So we can definitely make that work. So I'll drop the type form here, the application in the chat, and if you guys are interested in this, definitely click on the link for the application, and fill that out, and then we'll be in touch, and we'll jump on a quick chat and go over everything, to answer any questions you have, and give you the remaining details, and then you can decide if that seems like something that you'd be interested in. So
it's also worth the investment alone, just by the laughs and the good times we have in there. Like if you only join for the laughs, it's still worth the investment. So you really should sign up.
Yeah, we have a total blast, and obviously you guys can imagine like getting ongoing access to us like through the entire year, right? Weekly, whenever you need help. Obviously, Robin's in there, the man himself, sharing all kinds of great nuggets. I showed you guys earlier, what Robin shared in the group, his power list, and so I'll just quickly share with you guys as well, just give you a better idea. It's a school group, right? School group. So it's basically like a Facebook group, but it's 100 times better than a Facebook group, honestly. And people share awesome stuff. So this was something that Robin actually shared, his roadmap to hijack the momentum train. So we share all kinds of stuff like this, like next level tactics in here. And so, yeah, it's just a very tight knit community, and everybody is, they share stuff, they get feedback on different things, and just all around help each other out and have a great time. So that's basically what it is. You also get access, of course, to the course library, as I mentioned before, with all the trainings covering the core topics for this. You get access to tools and resources, and to bonus trainings as well. So this will be an ongoing training library where the different guys have gone over different things that they're experts in. So we bring on experts in different fields, and it's a continuously growing database of guest trainings. So that's something that you get as well, and just anything you need help on, you get here in the community. So definitely, if you guys want to get in on this at the lowest investment it'll ever be, it's still at a massive discount, and we have payment plans available as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely could be a good fit for you. And just fill out the application, and we'll be in touch. Man, I love what you said there in the chat, Peyton. Yeah, when you join, you'll feel a genuine camaraderie. You won't feel like a lone wolf anymore, right? I think that's so huge, right? Because as a copywriter, and thank you for sharing that, Peyton. I think that's an important point, because when you're a copywriter, it's like you're kind of on your own, right? And it's like, okay, you have to go out and like look for clients, and you have to like do some work for them, and you don't even know like if it's good. Like you're very insecure. You have all these these issues related to like imposter syndrome, like we talked about today. And it's really good to have people in your corner, right? Like somebody that is with you, that's doing the same thing that you're doing, like-minded people, to regularly support you and be in touch with you, right? And so yeah, everybody celebrates each other's wins. I also love what Bobby said. We cheer each other on through wins and challenges. So it's exactly that. It's a huge motivational booster for everybody, and that's really what it's about. It's like, so you don't have to do this on your own. You know what I mean? And so that's really what it's about. And if starting your own list is something that you've ever been interested in the future, interested in at some point as well, that's the core focus of it as well. But we have a ton of other things that we do, right? As you guys saw in this call with Robin on mindset, high performance, basically everything that you need to succeed as a copywriter and a high performance copywriter or coach, for example, right? Like Robin is. So that's really what it's all about. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Again, go ahead and fill out the type form if you guys are interested. But that's pretty much all the details that I have about it. Does anybody have anything they want to add or ask or anything? Awesome. I think we are good then. Did you guys enjoy the training today?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we would love some feedback. Like, even if you send it here in the chat, or if you send an email with what you thought was good and what we could have done better or whatever. We are always looking to improve. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate your time. It's awesome to see you guys here, and I hope you guys got a lot of value from it. Definitely, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop Robin an email. Feel free to drop me an email, and we'll be there for you guys. So yeah, super appreciate all you guys' time. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this, and yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. So I appreciate you all.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It's I had a good time, and hopefully you got some value you can implement right away to improve your life.
For sure. I
Yeah.
love what Adam said. Thanks, Adam. I'm glad you enjoy. He said, I appreciate how you allowed people to interact and share their thoughts. 10 out of 10 Zoom call. Man, that's amazing feedback, and we really appreciate that. So thank you for sharing.
It's always much more fun as well for the hosts, me and Bo, to do these kind of trainings when the audience engages. It's yeah, it's much more fun. Yeah. So
yeah, for sure. Adam, if you don't mind, brother, I might use that as like a testimonial for the people that didn't join. Just be like, by the way, here's what you guys missed out on. 10 out of 10 Zoom call. I could just use like your first name if you like. But man, I love that, man. I think that's amazing. And thank you for sharing.
And I want to add, if there's someone in this training still in the audience that feels like they don't necessarily need my services or Bo's services or whatever, but they feel like their mother is not sleeping well, or their brother is having a bad mindset or whatever. If you send someone my way and they end up hiring me, you'll get a sweet referral fee. So we're talking hundreds of bucks in your pocket for sending me people. So if you want to make more money, yeah, just send them my way and I'll take care of them. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, guys. Reach out to Robin if there's anything that you wanna go deeper on related to performance, mindset, overall, optimization. Robin's the go-to guy for that, and everybody loves working with him. So yeah, really appreciate you guys, and yeah, really appreciate you guys. So thank you for showing up. And yeah, does anybody have anything else that they want to add before we jump off? Any questions? Any last thoughts? Any remarks? Awesome. You guys are giving a thumbs up. All right, I think we're good. Man, again, thank you guys for showing up. Really appreciate you guys, and we'll definitely be in touch. So have a great weekend to every one of you, and I appreciate you guys. And yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.